How are you? Oh yeah, so this is what I'm talking about here. So it's not an entrance. And you also can't get out. I don't know if it's locked. I don't know what's going on with the door itself. But if you look inside the library here, that's a little bit of a problem. See? Now, back there at the other door, that's an exit, but this is also an exit. So, and you'll see that guy there sitting at the desk. You have to check in with him if you want to go around the corner and use the restroom. You got to get a pass. They have signs on the door. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so let's take the elevator. I'm done with the stairs. Still having some setbacks with my recovery process here. Do you need to go?
No, not now. For you guys, not, it's snowing in Raton.
Raton Pass?
Yeah.
Is Raton closed? Interesting.
Can't make it. So,
Yeah.
just letting you know whenever it opens, you know.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to head on over here to 3615 South Elati Street. The Mouthing Words Museum of Outdoor Arts.
You don't have to.
How's it going? Doing well.
It's a work slacker.
Mouthing words.
Morning, guys.
They're silent. This is what Inglewood wants from you. Silence. So just use mouthing words, but no sound. This is an abstract painting of removing a voice box from the throat. Right here in Inglewood. And the voice box is the red bloody mess over there being thrown on the floor next to the gallbladder that was removed. That's how you're supposed to. Everybody's got their own. What do you call that perception of art? What's it called?
Isn't that the one?
Oh yeah, it's still here. Oh, look who's here. You still have a job, huh? Yeah? You got any shit to say today? Well, you can ask, but fuck no, I don't have to fucking listen to you. Well, you did it. You asked nicely, too. You said, please. Yeah. And that was professional of you. Yeah. Any kids be killing today? Yeah. Yeah, I know. I see you're busy there on your cell phone. Yeah. Just passing the time. Collecting a paycheck, huh? Well, that's good you sat down. You just stay there, okay? Okay. Have a good day. All right. So yesterday I came here as well. And I was looking for one of my friends down in the library. And when I pulled up, Allied Security was parked in the handicap spot. Just sitting in his vehicle. Just chilling.
Really?
Yeah. I walked up to him. I was recording. I said, is there a reason you're parked in the handicap spot? You shouldn't be parked here.
Did they keep him?
Okay, I'll move. That was an excellent response. They're starting to figure out through the lessons of hard knocks that they work for the public. Isn't that an amazing concept? So we're headed to our next stop to talk to Fire Marshal Mike Smith. So that's where we're headed next. So we'll just keep that going here. Yeah, we got a big troll influx, so you know the rules about being on my platform. And if my mods oust you, that's it. So off we go. Scene 2, Fire Marshal. That's correct, Woody. So here we go. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be cold and rainy all day. That's what the forecast was. Now we're trying to figure out how to get out of all these layers of clothing. This way. We'll be there momentarily. So
357.
no. Well,
See you guys, Aiden. You guys. Get somebody in the office now, so I'll give you guys in a minute.
So Allied Security, they did fairly well. Well, they did. I think they did.
That's their go-to is to compliment you on your hair, you know?
Denise. Well, look at Denise. I mean, she's pretty into taking care of. She's a pretty little gal. She is, and so you know, I respect that. I ain't got no jealousy if she's going on there.
No, but he said it too.
He did?
You know, he said, you know, I like your hair or whatever, you know, like.
That this young one just got done talking. He said he likes my hair.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
His hair is like,
Oh.
that's his go-to, you know what I mean? Like.
Oh, so they're all gonna go for the hair.
That's what I think.
Gotcha.
Oh, I could do.
Gotcha. Good catch, Nicole. Nicole and I have got a lot done today. This wasn't all we got done, but I'm not going to tell you what else we got done. Because if I do that, the cops are going to target her. So we're just not even going to talk about that. And I'm sure Ian Griffin is watching my live stream, you know, trying to take some clips. It was interesting because Ian Griffin's complaint, I'm not going to go into any deep details, but this is simple. Claims he had no idea who I was. And then all of a sudden, he found my YouTube channel. He started making recordings of my YouTube videos to use against Shannon, of course. He thinks he's going to use them against me. He's not. He's actually using them against Shannon. That's his plan, right? Because Inglewood doesn't have a plan to navigate and address homelessness and those initiatives.
Right.
Hi.
I was just came in today to see if you guys were hiring.
Yes, we are.
Okay, I brought in my resume.
Okay.
She said you have applications and stuff.
Well, no, you can do it online.
Okay. What's
yeah.
the website?
I'll give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
If you don't know this,
Do you have an electronic version of this?
I do.
It'd be best when you do the application, just upload it.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
And that is one thing the city of Inglewood has done very, very well.
Anything?
People of Inglewood,
Yeah, that's
and
what
people
I
in
said.
general, because they don't pay attention to judges.
I won't
they
hire
just
for
keep
them
voting
anymore.
them in.
No. Yeah.
So in this case of Inglewood, it's worked very well because they've
Write
got
down
a
the
very
website for you.
good
Okay.
judge who is
On my card, when you have it done, just send me a text to the office number,
Sounds
and
good.
we'll set up a time for you to come in and do the orientation food safety training.
Okay.
Right now, it's pretty much just first shift.
You're
hired for. They're 10-hour shifts,
Okay.
so you only have to work 4 days a week. It's Monday through Thursday.
So,
All right.
Sounds good to me.
What's your name?
Sherry CH.
Well, I'm not writing it
Oh.
down. I just want to hear it.
I'm like CH.
I had it in my hand,
I'm
but
sorry.
okay. All right.
What time is the day shift? And
5 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
oh, that's awesome.
So
Okay.
anyway, that's something that.
And it's actually at the more modern place. This is just the mixed plant here.
Okay.
It's over on Telegraph. It's much nicer over there. This building's 180 years old.
Yeah.
All right. There you
All right,
go.
that sounds good.
All right.
That
just
was
shoot me a
good.
message once you got it done, or if
Okay.
you have any issues with it, just let me know.
Sounds good.
Just make sure when you pick it, you pick the Monroe. It'll be OH Monroe because our regional office is in Ohio.
Okay.
But yeah, just pick that and then just go through I would do the mobile application. You can do it on your phone.
Okay.
All
That
right.
sounds good. I'll look it up and I'll probably reach out to you today or in the morning.
That's fine. Just shoot me a text once you have it, and then we'll set up an arrangement for you to come in and do what he's doing.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Okay. Tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Laurice.
Well, I thought that might be.
You stole all my pens.
Can you?
Wow.
Can you map that? So this one right here, the Lottie. Yeah. It very well may be the. Oh look, here's all health again, just sitting.
Hey, Kane.
Oh look, it is the police station. Look where we ended up. Yep. 3615 South Elati Street, the Inglewood Police Department. I guess we're gonna have to go in and see if we can talk to Mike Smith. Looks like there's somebody at the fire department. Oh, they're probably out on calls, Nicole, saving lives.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Nick.
I will say this fire station here in Inglewood, even though it's a Denver fire department, they're pretty cool, except for slapping up those notices on the door that say, you know, no recording, we hate the public, and we're being run by Nazis. So, yeah, at any rate. Okay, here we go. Into the Inglewood PD we go. I should have known that that was the address of the Inglewood Police Department. Jeez. So they can only do so many records. I guess while we're here, we might as well check on that body cam request, right? Well, because somebody's not going to follow through with court, it'll just stay an open case forever, and we'll never get it. So that's always been my question and concern that no one has ever answered. But boy, I don't know if I even want to ask the question because we can go down the rabbit hole all day. Hey there, how's it going? Good, thanks. So the city sent me over here because I'm trying to get in contact with Mike Smith, the fire marshal. He's in this building. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so I don't know why I have to make that call. I mean, but okay. Because it's dispatch. Why would we take up time with dispatch to do that? That seems silly. Yeah, I guess. Hi, I'm in the lobby. I was told to pick up the phone to attempt to talk to Mike Smith, the fire marshal. My first name is Regan. RGN. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's just a quick question, so I'd like to just try to get a quick answer if I could. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Boy, she quickly changed the whole tone of her voice and her greeting after I said my name. Because when she picked up the phone, boy, she sounded like she didn't want anything to do with me or anyone. But hey, she did good. So she said to go ahead and have a seat. So We'll have a seat. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. It's 11:45.
Court is no longer a thing. So I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, so the biggest thing, guys, that's really fucking awesome is right here. You guys see that? Defendant found not guilty, costs to state. So I'm pretty happy about that. What's up, Free Press? So I'm really happy about that, guys. That's that was the end result that we wanted, and that's what went down. So that's the positive. And then another, I don't want to say it's positive or negative. It's kind of like in the middle. I'll show you guys something else. Where is it? Right here. So, the court case that was initially filed for tomorrow. What's up, Afro? I'm gonna be heading out here in like 10 minutes. I just wanted to do a quick live for everybody. This is the if you guys have any.
Everybody, I'm looking at.
You guys want some Bangkok kitchen? Bangkok. I'm just going over to the trouble areas.
So you said who filed? Sarah filed. Sarah Lynn Smith filed the continuance, and then Casey did not resist it. So just to be clear for you guys tuning in, do not come to the courthouse tomorrow unless you want to film. But for you guys that are thinking about traveling out of state to come to Casey's court case, I just want to let you guys know that it's been continued. So we have all these subpoenas that we previously served. We're going to have to serve them all over again. So we got 30 subpoenas we're going to be serving. So I'm going to go meet up with Afro Man, guys, and we're going to go film an undisclosed location in the next couple hours. Yep. So any questions you guys have about the case, Afro is in here, so he'll be able to tell you. I don't want to be a middleman and potentially give you guys the wrong info. But when you guys talk with Afro, I'm going to show you guys My little buddy. You gonna talk to me? You got conversation? Come here. Come here. This is my little buddy, guys. This is Munchkin. You see the camera, buddy? Do you see it? It's going to give you cat food. Yeah, it's going to dispense cat food for you. Yep, so this is my little buddy, guys. What did you say? You talking to me? Yep, that's Munchkin. So, all right, guys, I'm going to let you go here. Afro Man, I'm going to head out the door. I'll probably be to you in about 45 minutes. Please be ready. But yeah, we're going to film some undisclosed location today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. BCNN, real news only.
Way to get around New York City. Look at this thing. This thing, I got it up to 42 miles an hour. Watch, I'm going to show you the speedometer. I'm not playing around. There's no capping. Watch, you'll see. We got a horn. We got everything going. How you doing, Spider? Yeah, let's go.
And why? I mean, it's not like I'm going to go to the library and tear down your barricade. How long should we wait, everybody? I mean, I guess we've been waiting less than 10 minutes. Let's go to the Inglewood Police Department Hall Wall of Shame. Right here, Police Chief. Sam Watson. I'm not sure if he exists. Never seen him. Has never once responded to any of my emails. Nothing. I've seen this guy. I've dealt with this guy. He's cordial and professional, with all the wrong answers. Here's our fire marshal. Here he is. We're waiting for you, Mike Smith. So you see his badge here, so he's not part of the Denver Police Department. Fire Marshal's Office, Police/Fire, City of Inglewood. So see, the City of Inglewood hires him separate of the fire department. The fire department in Denver doesn't, from my understanding, have a fire marshal. They just have a bunch of chiefs that chase each other's tails. Denver Fire Department administration is the worst administration they've had in the history of that place, with their new leadership of Kathleen Riedenberg, who hates men. Yeah, still a little sour about that whole Mark Riddoff firing. But see, that's why I was saying yesterday when I was talking about the chief at the Denver Police Department being responsive to some of my issues and some of Denver Metro Audit's issues. They're probably going to can the guy like they did Mark Riddoff, because you don't cooperate with people that are critical of government. You don't try to work with them. that should get you fired. You don't try to address their legitimate concerns. Don't do that. This was their old police department that they tore down right here, where we're at in this building, and built this monstrosity of a shit show. For what reason, you know? Oh, this is, oh, look, they do have private interview rooms. So, like, if you come here to conduct business and you're not being interviewed or your story being told in a public lobby, get out of town. Okay, so this is the one thing they did right in this building, right? We say that all the time when we go into the police stations in Denver and they're telling us we can't record. And their, you know, excuses. It's confidential information going on in here. As you're interviewing people in a public lobby, shut the fuck up. It is your job to protect people's confidential and private information.
It would take you take it to Coney Island, and then you get off and.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the fare to get on the train?
Number 7, only a green brush can be used on food.
You have the fare? All right. You don't, I'll pay for it. It's all right. I got you. Just wanted you to get home, bro. Go home.
The last 2 questions are, you're experiencing vomiting and diarrhea.
Either.
Oh, this guy's fucked up right now.
The very last
Whoa,
one.
It's both.
Okay.
All right, keep that. All right. Well, you said you already have the footwear. When do you want to get started?
Take this to Coney Island, all right?
Monday.
He's going on a train, right?
Monday's
You're
the first.
Sure.
May 1st.
All right, take it to Coney Island, go home.
so
I know. I
that
just
is-
lost service, guys. I lost service. Hold on. You think I should follow him up there? Make sure he's all right on the train?
They prefer that. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that one question. That's actually the answer. They prefer that you wear them, not wear them to and from work. There's a locker room there. So.
Okay.
All right.
Is it?
Oh boy, what do you think? I should
I don't know
follow
why.
him out? I could follow him. I
They'll
could listen to him.
let you come to work your first day with them on, but then
Yeah,
they
this
ask
area
you
sucks,
after that
man,
to
with the
change in and out of them
train.
after
Fuck.
that. So. How well that's.
All right, hold on.
I can't thank you enough for this.
No worries, man.
So much.
Like I said, it'll be up to you what you do with it. So. All right.
Hang on,
direct
guys.
deposit.
Hang on. I'm gonna go up there right now.
Something specific.
Oh, his train's coming.
Changeable at any time? Or
Yeah, absolutely.
do I go back?
Well, you have your info.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you, what I can do is just send you a link to your email. You just click on it. You'll log in using the same thing you logged in here.
Yeah, his train
It'll
just
fill it
came
out
right now.
yourself. Just shoot
If
me
I
a
see
text
him
when you're
come down
done.
on
That way I
this
can make
exit,
sure
then
what
I
you're
know he
fine.
didn't get on the train. I
All right,
don't know.
I'll send that to you in just a minute.
Oh man, this guy, I want to help him out. Like I feel
All right, brother.
bad.
If you need anything, if you have any questions
Alright,
you might
well,
forgot to ask, just shoot me a
That's the
text.
best
and I'll
I
answer
could
you
do.
as
I
soon as
tried
can.
my best. I mean,
All right, brother. Have a
Thank you
good
so
one.
much.
I gotta
Good
move
luck.
on. It is what it is.
Have a good one.
Hope it works out for you.
I
Appreciate it.
tried.
Yeah.
I tried.
All right.
Yeah,
Did you steal it yet?
I tried.
Did you steal this? All right. Free vendor.
All right, let me read some chats. What's up, everybody? Chuck Bronson's in the house. What up, bro? Michael Ray. I know. I tried, bro. Kim. Quebec.
Hey, Brandon. Sorry about everybody. I had
Who
somebody in
that?
the office here.
I feel bad for people like that, you know?
Chopper's always
Yeah, let's go back to the precinct. But I mean, I feel bad for
always
people like that.
saying
I
someone's
mean,
blocking them.
damn.
Nobody's blocking them.
I want him to
Hey,
get the
Gregory.
help that he needs too. He said he had colon cancer. So I don't know, man.
257 Chopper, everybody. Hey. Oh, there's the vendor.
I want a fucking apple. I want an orange, actually. I want a fucking orange. It's good. fuck out of here. It's my fucking neighborhood. I'll take whatever I want. Damn, man. That guy like kind of hurts it like breaks my heart a little bit. I want him to be all right.
Dude,
Okay, here we go.
that was fucked up.
This is fuck boy. Oh shit. Right? You don't know him? Are you gonna ignore me? If you're gonna ignore me,
They're texting him
You know,
as they're getting ready to come out and tackle his ass for
Lieutenant
that.
Martin, maybe I don't think he's a captain. I'm sorry, Lieutenant Martin, black male, right? Drives what? What does he drive? An Ultima. He parks on this side over here.
That's awesome.
So, why would they arrest me
what's
for
that?
hanging out on a public sidewalk? All right, case was dismissed. Okay, and now you realize you guys don't have qualified immunity. So who you guys think you are to arrest?
Yeah, it's
a
ridiculous.
person
He
on
did.
a
He ruined
public
it.
Sidewalk, exercising their First Amendment.
Brooklyn fruit
Right?
stand out at
Would you
Bozo.
Arrest me if I'm hanging out right now, right? You're not gonna do nothing, right? Exactly. I'm exercising my First Amendment. I came in here.
That's fucked up.
I wanted to complain for him. I'm gonna
Yeah,
phone
he
for
ruined
my
it,
own
man.
protection because obviously I got ganged up. Now they put me in handcuffs. They put me in a back cell.
I mean, people
a
make
filthy
mistakes, but-
animal, right? For what reason? Trespassing?
How can you
Public?
justify
Come
that?
on, bro.
My neighborhood.
Come on.
Yeah, so
What
you're
do you
stealing
think
from
about
a
that? What's your
small
comments
business
on
owner in your
It wasn't
neighborhood.
there. So you're not gonna comment? You don't think that was wrong?
I'm
You think that was
sorry.
right?
Oh yeah, I can forgive too. I mean, I've made a lot of huge mistakes in my life.
Case was dismissed
Needed,
anyway.
needed
So trust me.
forgiveness. But
Shementi and Martin, I'm going after them. Trust me, I am. 'Cause you
Didn't
guys don't
record
got
myself
qualified
doing
immunity.
it, though.
We're allowed to sue you personally. They
yeah,
unlawfully
yeah. If
arrested
he
me for
humbles
no reason.
himself and completely admits
So what
that
do you think about
that was a
You
moronic
have
thing
no
to do,
comment on that? So why'd you call me back for? What was the point of calling me back?
I'll give him
You
props.
said, yo.
Be a while before
So who
he
are you yelling to?
builds any type of reputation back up again.
Come on.
This
You
guy's just
weren't yelling
keeping
towards
him.
me? Come on, Anthony. You weren't yelling towards me? No? All right. All right, you can go back to work. You're dismissed then. No problem. Yeah, you go back to work. Dismissed. I'm fine. I'm Gucci. What do you mean am I all right? Are you all right? Is he all right? He's coming in hot right now. Is he all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You guys are all right? We're all right. Everyone's all right. Yeah, everybody's all right.
Put your phone down. Put your hands on your
Why?
back.
Well, for
Put
what?
your hands
Why?
behind your
Why am I
back.
getting
You're under
arrested
arrest.
for? For what?
Stolen that an orange from the store, the press charge.
Get the fuck out of here. The orange fell on the fucking floor. You're arresting me for an orange?
Yes, sir.
You didn't fall on the
Are you
floor.
stupid?
You
For a
pulled
fucking
it off the rack, dude.
You guys are a fucking joke. You know that? See what I'm saying? You guys like to violate my rights. Every single time, bro. Every single time.
Ain't nobody's violating
This
your
is
rights,
a
dude.
joke. This is a joke, bro, for an orange.
Yeah.
That I walked by, that I know the guy, and it fell on the floor, and I picked it up. Yeah.
Don't fucking lie,
You guys are funny, man. You know
man.
why? You
First
gotta watch
response
out
is
for
to
me
lie,
because
too.
you know why? Martin and fucking what's his name?
That's not
also
good.
Violate my rights. You guys do it. You do it to me all the time. And we were just having a conversation.
So, City Council this coming Monday. Plan to see me there.
Yeah.
We'll be making City Council aware that they didn't get legal advice in executive session to pursue a regular citizen running a 501c3 trying to help homeless people. Documented history of
That's
getting
crazy,
some
man.
people into housing, getting people where they need to be.
Who is this? The orange person, though. This is hilarious. Brooklyn fruit stand out at Bozo. Who is
Yeah,
this?
nobody told
Who is
City
that?
Council. I think we may still find out that they did.
I'm gonna give you a wrench.
And came out and voted publicly to pursue me. They have to vote on the issue. So, but Inglewood's just saying we don't have anything to do with it. The city attorney's like,
Wait, you already have a wrench, so you were somebody that was already in here.
We just let random rogue employees go after citizens. This is just how we roll.
No, you're not. Okay.
All right, game on. So, Nicole and I are gonna go get something to eat. We're gonna end this stream. Life is good today, right, Nicole? Yep. We got shit done. We're gonna go eat. And thanks for being in here.
Yeah, I mean that's his only way of at least keeping me on his first stream when he gets out has to be
The ways to donate to the
full of
nonprofit,
humbleness.
continue this work are in the About section. There's links in here. Oh, Indiana Frauditor Watchman. Are you that dipshit that's commenting? Yeah, you're about to get
It's
blocked.
you, Aiden.
So keep your shit up,
Oh,
and
Sakila. All right,
you
buddy.
won't have
Yeah,
a voice on my
I
plate.
give that one a wrench
That's
too.
how that's gonna go.
That's the one you change names from time to time as
Oh,
needed.
hey,
It's
everybody.
a good,
Nice
good,
super chat from Johnny.
good parody
Thank you very
account there.
much. Thank you, Johnny Bravo. That's much appreciated. And we're gonna use that and go get some lunch and see how all this plays out. Thank you, King Charles. Thank you. Much love and much respect to you. And Johnny Bravo's giving you a thumbs up. Bokamo says bye, Nicole. And yeah, thanks, Clinton. Hey, good to see you. I don't know if you were in here earlier, but thanks for popping in. Thank you, Irish Rover, for all of your information today on how to publicly redress government. If you do redress all of these city government employees in Inglewood, I ask that you do it with respect and no threats, and that you're asking questions, legitimate questions for legitimate answers. Okay? And as I was saying, all the ways to donate are in the About section. And it's your donations and your continued.
That's her stream.
Viewing of this channel that continue to make my nonprofit viable and help.
Oh yeah, I will.
People out here on the streets. So,
There, drop the link
have
to
a
it
good day,
again.
everybody. Mwah. Till next time.
That's cool, Brandon. I think I stole a pack of Starburst from a Chatham grocery store. And we got home, and we lived a good 10 miles away from it when I was young. I can't remember what age. It was around 10 or so. And my mom drove me back out to this store. That made me admit it to the manager. You know how in the old grocery stores, the manager's little station was elevated above everything? Admit it. And he pretended to call the cops on me. And my mom made me wait there for like 15 minutes as I bawled my eyes out. And then they said, well, the cops say you're small potatoes, so they're not coming. But, yeah.
No sheriffs. I don't see any sheriffs. I don't see parking enforcement. Where are they all going?
So there you Awakening Wonders. Thanks for joining me live on the internet for Stay Free with Russell Brand. We've got a hell of a lot to talk to you about. Of course we have. We're living in a crazy world. We're living in crazy times. If you want to join the conversation, you can get on Locals right now. That's our membership community. People are saying stuff like, actually, I'm here for the beginning live. People are excited. People are feeling the energy. People sense that real change is about to happen, that the institutions are crumbling, that the media is falling apart, that they're
I mean, honestly, I don't think it would. If what he's initially lied about, it being on the ground and him knowing the guy and blah blah blah, that being true, it's almost okay. But you can hear the grocer yell for him as he's wheeling away in his scooter. He on camera showed us that he snatched that right off the rack.
they're funding models don't work, that their advertising is collapsing, that they don't know how to cope with this degree of dissent.
Yeah.
And it's all because of you and the great power within you. Trust that power. Don't trust their lies. Trust your instinct and intuition. Sure, you might be fallible, but we're approaching this situation in good faith, ain't we? And when you
It's too
hear some
bad.
of the revelations we're making today, you're going to double down on that self-trust and that loathing of authoritarianism that's got you this far, because we are talking about the mother of all
Don't end it. Just
conspiracy
save it as a
theories.
backup.
Mother, I'd say so. If
Greg.
JFK is the father of all conspiracy theories, then the mother,
It's up there.
9/11.
You dropped the link
That
yet?
great scar on the American psyche. We cannot talk about this on YouTube, but there's a new revelation. And if this is true, and the reporting suggests it is, this is groundbreaking. This is earth-shattering. This shows disdain for the American people and lies at the heart of government. And we will be talking to you about that in 10 minutes' time. It involves the CIA and 9/11. I can't say more. Otherwise, I'll be called a conspiracy theorist. But what do they call
Too late for
people
that, I'm
who they?
afraid.
Yeah, that horse has bolted, and it's become a term, as you know, as you taught us, that they use to shut down debate. It's interesting that conspiracy theorists often talk about ideas that are not amenable to the interests of powerful elites that Joe Biden governs for. When Joe Biden told those donors nothing will fundamentally change, that is a direct quote. What was he saying? We will act as stewards for your elite institutional interests, and we will control the American people. The American people are our enemies. That's why we need surveillance. That's why we need control. That's why we look for opportunities to legislate and regulate.
E
We're certainly
News,
not
you sure?
trying to help people. So we're going to be looking at some pretty interesting stories. Actually, about
Some big
Joe
black
Biden,
dude.
we are going to look in depth at the
Oh my
relationship
goodness.
between almost the entire Biden
Hey,
family.
Greg, I'm on your
and
regular
charisma,
page.
which is-
What's the link to
yeah,
your
there's
new one?
the Biden family.
Get 24/7.
The Biden family. There's every single member of the Biden family seems to have some sort of relationship with Ukrainian gas firm Burisma.
Yeah, it was disappointing to see all the people going, what, over an orange? I was like, what, WTF? Because I didn't know. He showed the orange by the time I got in there. I didn't realize that he had stolen it. I was like, oh, he's eating healthy tonight. He's got an orange. Cool. I did not realize what had happened. Because I was at work. I was like, oh, Brooklyn Audit's up. Let me just take a peek. And then I was just like, whoa, why is he getting jumped? And then it was like over an orange. So I was believing his lie because I hadn't seen him steal it. It's the first time I seen him actually pick it up.
Burisma.
Best in the business.
Oh, you want gas? Come get it here. We're all
I'm not surprised, though, that there was that many people
Shania Twain. That don't impress me.
trying
No, it isn't.
to. I mean, look at today's
No,
society.
we're
People
talking
just
to
watching people walk out of stores.
Shanna
and shit.
Swan,
I don't care what the rules are. If I work in
whose
that
name, when
store,
written down, looks a bit
You're
like
getting
Shania
some
Twain, but
you're getting
you're
some
gonna get a very
pushback from
different
me.
interview.
Right. Well, who knows? Have you ever tried interviewing?
Because I mean, they keep doing it to the
That's
stores. The stores just close.
Right.
But I tell you, even though we're talking to Shanna Swan, not Shania Twain, I tell you what, don't
Now, do I
impress
think
me.
that Walmart should be
Mark,
having
go
to
on.
making you show a receipt for every time you leave,
Sperm.
or that you should have to? No. Yeah, I do it at Costco because that's part of the
Fine.
rules.
I've looked at those guys
private
under
membership.
a microscope.
Sure. Oh, that's what I was.
And-
Actually, and their reasoning for doing it
delivered
is pretty good because they actually discover more often than not that people had paid for something that they didn't have in their basket.
I was all greasy.
and everything. You can stay away from it.
Or
You
race
don't need a
purses, yeah.
microscope. You
Not give
God's
employees
microscope.
raises.
The mind.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I
The
won't
mind.
either.
Shanna Swan, a world-renowned reproductive health professor who believes the modern world is threatening sperm counts and imperiling the future of the human race. Sometimes, do you think that the human race is worth saving? Do you ever get into a state of despair and think this humanity itself? But then you think of Christ, then you think of Gandhi, and then you think of this great suffering that we've been through, and you think of the love that you feel for the people in your lives, and you think, no, this is worth fighting for.
No, Christ didn't
There
have
is
to deal
something
with
beautiful.
phthalates, though, did he? He
Christ,
went around in his day.
Christ may not have had to deal with phthalates, which are the sort of it's a toxin in food that's
Right.
getting down into what I call the sperm duct, and messing with your testy juices. And we're still on YouTube. And
Testy
I'll tell you what,
juices.
if YouTube regulators,
This is
and
on
you know that
Rumble,
the WHO
so
set their policy around healthcare,
we won't
for
see the
example,
switch over.
if the YouTube regulators have any idea of what we're about to say, you know, like when they put a warning at the top of all our videos, or like, you know, if you look at Joe Rogan's podcasts on Spotify down the menu, COVID advice, COVID advice, COVID advice, COVID, like, you know, like also 9/11 is one of those subjects, isn't it? And I out of respect for the victims of 9/11, I would never convey irresponsible theories about what went on that day. But these revelations seems to me that they're demonstrably true. But we'll investigate it together. We'll tell you. You'll tell us whether you think it's true. It's been reported elsewhere. We're going to be discussing it exclusively on Rumble, though. There's a link in the description, whether you're watching this on Elon Musk's Citadel of Wonder, that's Twitter, or over there at YouTube, subset of Alphabet, subset of Google. Fantastic there. 6.4 million awakening wonders can hardly be wrong. Can they, Gal? Can they? I've got here, I have in my hand.
You said you subscribed. Okay, you subscribed to me.
For,
Okay.
Not for wounded sperms.
I thought that's why
So
you
that's
got
the
it
new
out.
channel.
How'd you come?
I mean, do you have the link?
No, it's for.
Then I'll bring it up real quick and drop the link for everybody.
No, this is the sort of thing you would get in cereal, you know, like Rice Krispies or Frosties.
I'm
or
searching
something
it on
like
my other
that. You know,
laptop
let's
here, and I
not
can't
get
find the new
bogged
channel. I
down
just
in that. It's for Bear.
the
There's
old
my
one.
beautiful
No,
dog
I
Bear.
got
See
it.
him? God, I love that guy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And we're going to bring down the government using only truth as our weapon. Yes, we are. Only truth and a tick remover. The parasites that sup upon the human spirit must be removed. Truth is our weapon. You know, Joe Biden's announced that he's going to be running again through a beautiful piece of propaganda that we have analyzed, scrutinized, and debunked, essentially, because we've offered a rebuttal for many of his points about freedom, sweet lady freedom, freedom that we all adore, that we all love, that perhaps
Searching for the
isn't
sound
being
bite.
delivered.
Oh,
Which one
here
is
we
All right, thanks, Brandon.
gonna get
Can't
it.
see it.
Is it gonna be the... No, it's the wrong one. There it is.
Freedom, you will let us down, though, Joe Biden, because you will make all sorts of claims, whether it's sick days for workers.
All right, walking on my street,
Once
you
you've
did,
said
okay,
nothing's
you
going to
did post something good.
fundamentally change, what you've essentially said is, I am going to manage this nation for the elites, right? One person who's been making his own. I mean, is Donald Trump some sort of YouTube maestro? His latest video, his response to Biden's news that he's running, it's like a YouTube video. Like there's cutaways that are the same as when we do, say if we do an advert for
You think he's copying
golden
you?
things. I think he's copying us.
Right.
I think he's copycatting us. Sincerest form of flattery.
Yeah.
I think so. Let us know in the chat. Do you wait till you see this video? I would say this is Donald Trump. Stay free. And if you're watching Donald Trump, because we know Don Trump Jr. is on Rumble, and we've been trying to organise an interview with Donald Trump for a little while. Would you? I bet you'd love to see that. Would you? Would you love to see Donald Trump on Stay Free? We'd take the trip to
that was it.
Mar-a-Lago for that.
That's up to him.
Imagine that, Gal. You and I on the sunbeds at Mar-a-Lago.
Yep. I'll be up for that.
You would you?
Yeah. What do you think? Would you get bothered? Because it's a busy place, Mar-a-Lago, these
Is it?
days. Yeah.
What's going on
Anything
there?
else? No,
Fully booked.
noon exciting going on besides the great,
I don't know what it is. I thought he just lived there. I thought it's like going his house.
Great
I thought
Orange
like Hugh Hefner's mansion,
heist.
Graceland. Like, I like it when someone's so famous that their house is famous.
Yes.
Michael Jackson, Neverland, or as we call it now, Sometimes Land. And Graceland, that's for the king. Mar-a-Lago. Anyone else? King Arthur, Camelot.
That's your next example.
Emu's Pink Windmill.
That's it. Yeah, that's
it.
the right one.
That's all I've got. That's all I've got. Emu's a British TV show where Rod Hull manipulated a emu puppet, memorably once, irritating Snoop Dogg, who didn't enter into the spirit of it. It was like a puppet thing. Like Rod Hull, who managed Emu, oh no, Emu, and like Emu was naughty and that and bothered people.
Yeah.
But Snoop Dogg, it was an early incarnation of Snoop, still crip walking Snoop, I'm thinking. Like, he was like, I don't agree with this. like he sort of treated it like this is just this guy's hand.
Yeah, well, it was his guy's hand. Yeah.
And he treated it as such. Well, maybe we can have a look at that later, 'cause it's a pretty good clip. It's on the Rod Hull appearing on the Word with Snoop Dogg.
Maybe after we get through one of the biggest conspiracy theories in the history of humankind, then we'll get to Rod and Emu.
We're going to look at one of the biggest conspiracy theories in mankind. Not
Leaving
the
Ohio.
CIA were potentially involved in Snoop Dogg.
Right.
Was Rod Hull a CIA operative?
That's it. Yeah.
Who was really operating that emu that attacked the
Versailles?
towering Snoop Dogg?
See what you're doing.
That
I actually don't know
day?
Ohio that well. I grew up
Was
in
it
Michigan, so
apparently the
Let me see where
emu
Versailles.
of.
No, I see what you're doing.
Do you see?
I think you've got around the YouTube guidelines.
Guidelines.
Yeah.
Guidelines. They're only guidelines. They're only supposed to be a guide. Let's have a look at Trump's
French
response vid. Have a look.
You could take the
Oh, you're not too far south of me.
5 worst presidents in
All right.
American history and put them together, and they would not have done the damage Joe Biden has done to our nation in just a few short years.
I like that. I like the way he said that. And so we've had a look at the who we think.
You,
Let us know who you think are the
you
worst
gonna
presidents,
start a
but let's have
Callahan
who
stream?
We claim are the worst presidents in American history. You can let us know in the chat
Or
who you think the worst ones are. So
are you
this is
streaming
what
and I'm
we're
not
offering,
seeing
but
it?
Let's hear your offers. James Buchanan. He refused to challenge the spread of slavery. That's bad, isn't it? He should at least challenge it.
Right.
Herbert Hoover, he presided over the stock market crash, which spiraled into the Great U.S. Depression.
Irish
Right?
demon.
Is that
He
bad?
was okay for a minute.
Lyndon Johnson, he escalated the
He's
Vietnam
kind of a-
War. Richard Nixon for his involvement in the Watergate cover-up, and George W. Bush for the
No,
invasion of Iraq, based on the false accusation that they had weapons of mass destruction. But hey, this is a conversation. Who
Right.
do you guys think the worst 5 are, or just some more?
Yeah, these were only put together by the lads in the gallery.
Some more contributions to that rogues
Glendaroll,
gallery.
South Dakota, huh?
Gallery. So let us know in the chat. I want to know who you think are the worst ones. Of course, some of you are saying Obama, you nitwits. That's called recency
Okay.
bias, that is.
Right.
Recency bias. He's already said Biden. Although
I was busy
what
yesterday.
could you say
I
by,
missed-
Obama?
why am I not getting alerts? I have it on all, I
Could have
think.
said, no, them banks collapse, man.
Could've
We're
said-
going to have a whole new system. Change, hope.
Right.
Change, hope. Didn't you run on change and hope? Let's have some change and hope. Let's help
Bill-
the American people.
Bill Clinton deregulating Wall Street.
Bill Clinton.
I mean, there's lots of cases for a few of them.
I think our guest, Shanna Swan, would be interested in Bill Clinton's
All hands
blue
crossed
dress
for Swan.
deposit. Let's see the
Tried.
quality of Monica Lewinsky's dress.
Do you think that's worse than deregulating?
Oh, trucking
Wall
with
Street?
Callahan now.
Who knows?
Okay.
He did deregulate Wall Street.
Yeah.
Guys, do we like over there on Wall Street?
Not
Oh, all these regulations. I'm getting sick of these regulations. Having to regulate this guy. My damn
2 hours
pocket
ago.
pal. I ain't
Okay.
regulating him
Just
no
missed
more.
it then.
He's gonna write He's got to write a little letter.
Yeah, but I still should get a notification if
With
it's
the white ink of life.
if I'm on all.
Come on. Nowhere to Baker Street. Ba, ba, ba.
Yeah, that's
So who is
not too
the
far
worst
from where he's at in
Andrew
Ohio.
Jackson? I thought he was for real.
That's in
I'm sorry, Andrew
Medina.
Jackson. I thought he was for real.
He's
He's good
close
president,
to,
isn't he?
For real.
So, yeah, let us know what you think. Okay.
Ooh,
we'll,
Pickaway is right there. That's a
Trump
big
or he
state
double Trump?
I don't
prison.
know, man. The thing is with watching Trump, whether you like him or don't like him, normally the things he says are funny.
Yeah.
And you don't. It's difficult to. What you could do is offer rebuttals and go, "Well, you said that, mate, but is that true, really?" And it's sometimes a bit boring.
He's
or
gonna
it's
take
just
90.
funny what you said there, mate. You know,
Because of his style.
he's got good style.
You gonna go up to
I
Chicago
mean, in,
or
a conversation that we will be having soon.
You gonna
with
go up after
David
Chicago?
Sirota from the Liver.
Like
I
Omaha?
think we'll be talking about the oratory skill that Trump possesses and the ability he has
Yeah.
to
Wow.
exploit the
You
apertures.
think you'll be talking about that? do you?
Well, it's just the hunch, mate.
That's in your mind that I'm going to mention that.
Inside my mind, I've got a hunch. Someone in the chat said that Truman is a bad president on account of he dropped an atomic
yeah,
bomb
yeah. There's a big one on the east side of Ohio
of humans.
called
Another
Elkton,
constant
close to
Babies.
East
help
Palestine.
People all folks of like Nagasaki and Hiroshima, innit?
Yeah.
That you're right. That is
Why did the lads miss that one?
that is so bad
Lads?
that Truman done that. Especially when his name is Truman,
Right.
because you would think he'd be a nice guy.
I think we've got people working for us that think that was okay.
I think that those lads. Let's have a look at the gallery,
Oh,
Dan.
no.
Open
We've
them up.
been infiltrated. That's what's
Infiltrate, look,
happened.
do you see that? And also show the way that that glass can turn from frosty, opaque to
Chicago.
Defrost it. Defrost the
they're
glass. Oh, it's
Yeah,
frozen.
especially
Oh,
at certain
right.
times, the
Technology,
traffic is
yeah,
horrendous
conspiracy. No,
on the
it's not
freeways
It's
there.
defrosted now. Look at that. See,
Around
they
it.
can defrost and frost the glass. That is technology. Defrost, frost, defrost, frost. See?
Wow.
That's very much
That's
like
where
the
the
system
money went.
itself.
That's where
right.
the budget's gone.
Yeah, that's all. We spent every single penny.
I haven't
we
been
had
there
on the
since
old frosty
2020.
glass. There's the team out there. Which one of you didn't
Right
think
before COVID,
that
we went and
actually
saw
bombing the people of
band
Hiroshima
out
and
there.
Nagasaki was as bad
Oh,
as Clinton
the
just
lads.
making a downstairs mistake, writing a letter with the pen of life. The pen of life.
Right.
Look,
There he
him,
goes. Oh,
Al.
dear.
60% Al. Al, I'd like Al, would you apologise to Japanese people? Yeah, apologise to them because I don't think Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Everybody was in the chat was saying that it's a co-ed prison. It's not.
well,
It's
they're
the
worse
camp
than
is females, but the
Clinton,
actual
aren't they?
prison,
They're much worse. They're much
medium
worse.
security
Should
area
we,
is all men.
There's a
Stories?
there's a war a brewing.
We've got some stories. Yeah. Speaking of atomic bombs,
Oh yeah, because I'm still not actually over the current attempt to bring about Armageddon by provoking the great bear that is Russia through the proxy war in Ukraine, which seems to me to be somewhat connected to the military-industrial complex that can't pass an audit. They've spent billions and billions supporting this war. 70% of the
Side new venture, wasn't that about a boat that gets hit by a tidal wave or something and rolls over?
Finish your first war,
right?
have another war later. That's what I
It's a
have
bit
with my,
like
I don't remember a house involved in that movie.
with my kids, Gal.
Yeah.
I'm like, you will finish. Like, I'm trying to get me vegetables these days.
Oh right, they're not doing wars for you.
Well, actually, me and my kids are actually trying to provoke China
Right, okay.
into a war.
Yeah.
By sort of saying, "Oh, we've got to protect Taiwan." The crisis over there.
It's nothing to do with those semiconductors.
Those semiconductors, don't worry about them. Them semiconductors, I don't even know what they are. So, like, yeah, this is the next US proxy war. Let us know in the chat if you think it is. And also keep telling us who you think are the worst presidents, because we obviously can't rely on our own research team to spot a literal nuclear bomb dropped on an independent nation. Oh, Reagan for mentally ill homeless people. Good, well done. Nice.
We
Nice one.
can only do 5. I mean, there have been a lot of mistakes.
Come on over to Baker Street. Right, the next proxy war is going
Thanks
to be
whoever's watching on Rumble.
Taiwan. We're going to help Taiwan against China, those oppressive swines.
Yeah, so troops are getting sent
You
over
can actually
now.
see the.
Actual troops.
All right.
That's right. It's happening. First weapons, now the troops.
We'll listen to this in the background. You guys help me buy
That's
some
right.
phones for one of our new.
Who's paying for those weapons?
That would be the time.
What was that?
Is it?
American treasure. Like,
Yeah.
oh, my treasure. I'll tell you someone who did spill American treasure.
Is it Bill Clinton
It
again?
was
I
going to be
thought it
him.
might
Yeah,
be.
it was going to be him.
About
Austin, really?
50% of international trade goes through the international straits, but I think more
Even in the
importantly,
bypasses?
you know, Chuck, is that the TSMC manufactures 90% of the advanced global
Worst I've ever had
supply
was
of advanced
Atlanta.
semiconductor chips.
Congressman, it almost sounds like
So he just said, he's just told us what it is. 90% of these advanced semiconductors, which I don't know, but it's how to do computers and computer chips, you need them, innit?
You do need them, yeah. Weapons as well.
Oh,
All
and them.
sorts, yeah.
All sorts. They're
It
doing
only
them
takes
from
an
the-
hour, 2
Yeah,
hours
to
to get
the,
through
American
Atlanta.
project.
Well, as you just told us, that's what it's for. Like, you know, there's
Seemed
always
like they-
some
they've been working
economic
on
and
that
financial
for
reason. If your
30
ideology is
years.
overly economic and financial, it's sort of like corporatist zombie capitalism, call it whatever you want to, then that will be the ideology that drives your actions. Certainly the significant actions that undergird your entire economic and political system. We've already established that the United States of America cannot exist without war. That's why you can't start unraveling like the British monarchy, for example, because once you start looking at it, the whole thing just stops making sense. We'll be doing a coronation special, by the way, next week. So anyway, after saying, look, we've got to go over there because of them semiconductors, he sort of almost remembers in the middle of the interview, or maybe
I finally
there's
got
chip
a
inside them that gets activated.
one of
by
those
central
electronic
control.
passes
It's
for
gonna go
the
shaking it up.
turnpikes
Unlike
around
the
here. The wife's had one
conspiracy
forever,
theories,
but
basically,
I didn't have one.
Oh God, yeah.
Allegedly.
They don't have little chips.
And when they
in
sent me the
my
bill, they gave me a
don't
discount
have
on the
that.
bill.
That was a thing
They
called a
sent me
joke
the
that we used to have before.
toll by
it got all
plate.
crazy.
They mailed it to
they
me.
don't have a chip in their mind that could be
was able to get the
activated.
discount if I ordered the transponder.
Because they do use things like they all use the same words and do crazy stuff and have kangaroo courts in Congress where they call legitimate journalists, like so-called journalists, and attack them and then threaten to imprison them. I mean, there's all sorts of craziness going on. Anyway, watch this dude now. He about to say something like he just goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I mean democracy and
Check
freedom."
your sack.
It ain't even a democracy, is it?
Right.
Like leave them alone. They can have their. If
That's
you
the
are
new form of birth
democratic,
control.
You've got to allow other people.
What are you talking
to
about?
be. You would think that would be one of the foremost principles. Let's check him, make he gets back on brand. Check him.
the case that would be made in the 60s, 70s, and 80s of why America was spending so much money and military resources.
Too
in the
cold
Middle
around
East.
here for ticks.
Oil was so important for the economy. Is this sort of the 21st century version of that?
You know, I personally, I think it's about democracy and freedom.
Oh, that's actually quite sweet, like a kid at school, almost. Like, is it democracy and freedom? Well done. You can have a biscuit now. You can have a saxophone.
Even the way that Chuck Todd talked about oil in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, as if it's not going on now. I mean, what do you think these relationships with Saudi Arabia are for? What do you think the fist bumps are for, and all that kind of stuff, and not holding them to account in the way that Biden said pre-election, like he would do, making them pariahs? Do you know the reason why they're not pariahs? Because we need oil, you know. So it's still ongoing.
So are you saying that that's another pre-election pledge?
I am suggesting
broken?
that. Yeah.
We do a pretty good analysis of Biden's electoral campaign video. It's really quite a good video, actually. It's good propaganda. But the claims that it makes are absolutely outrageous.
Friday, that'll be out.
Is that we're going to watch it on Friday?
Friday,
Oh,
yeah.
you've got to watch Friday's show. It's going to be a cracker. It's going to be a scorcher. Okay, and look, here's more future war with Taiwan stuff. US urged to destroy Taiwan semiconductor factories if China invades. Oh, they're going to smash them up.
Right, exactly. So if they can't have them, they will smash them up, yeah.
If I can't have you, no one will. Them semiconductors is like their girlfriends in their minds.
But in blowing those up, you would imagine the US would be causing quite a lot of damage to Taiwan, that it's just claimed
Excuse me,
to
we've been working in that factory.
Yeah.
My dog's in there. Oh no, I've just left my lunchbox.
Right.
If we can't have those semiconductors, no one will. Also, they're rehearsing wars with
A little
China.
higher.
I mean,
Probably easier to inspect, though.
I'd say probably not, no.
because you start to sort of get into the idea a little bit. They're
Yeah.
over in the Philippines practicing doing a war.
Yeah.
Sack check.
No, that might
Military exercises and drills.
precipitate the war.
I always think that thing about drills. It's like, don't worry, it's just a drill. Right. What's that proceeding then? You know, it doesn't seem like a good
Imagine
thing.
if you found out, for example, that prior to the pandemic, there had been
This is not a deer tick,
would we
man.
lost
Those are worse for Lyme disease.
Speculatively, hypothetically, if prior to the pandemic,
No, Anna.
hypothetically, if there had been like a series of like drills where like, oh, in the event that there were, here are some things we'd do, possibly would do. Imagine if you found out, for example, that, and this is again hypothetical, that China had already invented medications funds for an as yet
Well, hang on, she must have had a couple litters.
not invented, an
Oh, wow.
emergent
Look at you.
condition.
Look at you.
What?
Funny video with the one at the prison. Oh, the one where he got the piggy to squeak the piggy.
Of the
Yeah, that was
guidelines,
good.
I'm like that tightrope walker between the twin towers, and we got some interesting stuff coming up about that and all, baby. All right. So anyway, the only thing that could make all these unnecessary wars even worse, the suffering, the death, the needless loss of life for Americans and natives of the various countries, Ukrainian blood spilled, Russian blood
The
spilled.
next one will be
all
mile
children
marker
of God
79.
here to participate in the miracle of life together. The only thing that could make all this killing and profiteering worse would be discovering that you, the American taxpayer, are literally funding it without ever being asked if you would like to. Ordinary Americans are being forced to subsidize the military-industrial complex. Subsidize it? It can't even operate on its own capitalist metric.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me. A new report released by the Institute for Policy Studies examines Americans' income taxes in relation to military and security spending to show just how much of the average person's tax bill is going to the likes of cluster bombs rather than hospitals. Would you, sir, can I ask, would you like hospitals and schools? Well, yes, I suppose so, because eventually everyone will get sick and die, and having hospitals.
Everyone's doing all right.
Thing. And what about schools? Well, yes, I have children, and even those of us who don't have children want an educated population.
We're still dog sitting for my mother-in-law until Saturday, and it's trying. I will tell you that. I mean, the wife's being a champ. Those dogs are not easy to care for. One of them last night just decided to howl all night long.
Population that can participate in society. Okay, well, there's no more questions. That's the end of this. Oh, before I go, one other thing, Columbo style. Would you also like cluster bombs? Oh, just tell me a little more about these cluster bombs. Well, what they are is a cluster of bombs that can kill and maim potentially innocent people. Oh, no. I was much more interested in the schools and hospitals. Well, frankly, this was just a survey, not an electoral process, because you will never be democratically invited to participate in that by either party. Whoever you vote for, you will never get to vote for anything meaningful, because there's already a consensus that you're only going to quarrel endlessly about hot-button cultural topics. Meanwhile, powerful elites are stewarded by whoever happens to be the incumbent to ever greater profits. During the pandemic, you saw unprecedented transfer of wealth, and this actually straddled a couple of presidencies, both of whom cause a great deal of ire on either side. And in a sense, in microcosm, it demonstrates the whole damn bloody problem. Okay.
That's a grand a year, by the way, that you can't spend on food or whatever else.
A grand a year we got to spend.
That's what American taxpayers are paying.
On cluster bombs.
Yep. Right.
That's a waste. I'd rather have that grand for.
Yeah.
You could have a VIP trip to Disneyland for that.
Could you?
A grand. You get like queue jumping.
Right.
You like maybe Ron DeSantis would come with you himself.
I don't think he would.
Why? Oh, he hates it there. Come on, Ron. No, absolutely not. Okay, hold on. On the worst ever president, he's a groundbreaker. You're not.
Yeah, it's blind justice. Yeah.
The Americans, if you agree with this one.
I don't know why I was not aware of him.
Was the wife of his best friend.
Before recently.
Don't you do
He's really
that.
started getting some news, especially with that
Don't you do that when you come over to
issue with the vet center.
Well,
And that guy
get
that's
on
running
well.
for
you do.
commissioner.
She already told me that if I died, and
It's pretty nuts.
if I died, she'd like marry you.
Did she? Oh.
Yeah, because you're good with the kids, you're a nice person, you're handsome. What about me? I'm down in the grave, rotting.
Yeah.
You won't spend my legacy.
Oh, where the sergeant says that? Yeah.
Spend it on whatever I want.
I mean, do they think blind means you can't see
The
anything?
limitless consciousness that abides in all things, that was present before the Big Bang, that is
I
present.
mean, my
in
grandmother,
that
when
which
she
is
died, she was
determined
legally
and
blind,
measured.
but
I forgive you for this. You know,
only
see?
because
I'm living it up.
her vision had gotten to the point where she couldn't read signs standing in front of them.
We can never prove that people are moving up or out, and M people were wrong to claim that they could. That's a British band. Okay, we're going to leave you now. If you're watching us on the or a Twitter, we're going to have to leave you now because we're about to talk about something so controversial, and you are going to love it. I'm telling you, you're going to want to join us on Rumble. There's a link in the description. There are conspiracy theories, and then there's the mother of all conspiracy
Yeah.
theories. There are territories that
I got jurisdiction anywhere in the city. It's my city.
Not traverse for fear of the cluster bombs that accrue. We're going to tell you stuff that is going to make your knickers go all unusual.
Oh no.
It seemed like only one of those
we're on
piggies
Rumble
that was
now.
out in the lobby
Okay.
talking to
Oh,
him
is it?
halfway.
He's got that. Acting's in his bones, isn't it?
Do you see
Did a
that?
decent job. That was it.
Acting.
The female, she was horrible.
Do you want to see some acting? Because I got, when Branagh just went, I'd done a film called Death Down the Nile.
No,
Now, while I was being in that, I was playing the part of you. I look like you.
Oh, right, yeah,
I look like you anyway. As you were the basis of my character. How would Gareth Roy be? I was in the film Death Down the Nile with Wonder Woman. She was the main star.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
There was one bit of Death Down the Nile where she kissed me.
Yeah.
I just thought, just pretend this is real life.
Well, yeah.
And then I'm
'Cause
being
it
kissed
is.
by Wonder Woman.
I was thinking that
Yeah,
about,
it is real life.
it's real life. I was thinking about animals, like, you know, when animals
animals
are
in a
acting.
film.
I'm like, they don't know that it's a film.
And a baby. Like Beethoven, like
Right.
when he's been in Beethoven. Beethoven! Beethoven! Like it's Charles Grodin.
The dog.
We're on
Beethoven.
Rumble now. Yeah, not Beethoven the musician. He
No.
wouldn't be able to hear you anyway.
No.
No
Nice.
point you wasting your time. You'd have
Yeah.
to slap him.
Yeah.
You're like, Beethoven, you little motherfucker! We're on Rumble.
Right.
Beethoven, you little motherfucker! Beethoven's like, oh, hold on a minute. I've actually got an equity card. I'm a member of SAG. You
I
can't
didn't
talk
even
to
see
me like that.
I
Flex's
also
new
don't
video.
remember that
I'll play
line
that
in the
next.
movie.
Yeah, what happened? Beethoven is spilling all the crisps.
Yeah.
He's knocking down the wallpaper paste. And Charles Grodin like, Beethoven, you little motherfucker!
No, that wasn't a line. No.
Oh, it's that from that
I watched
live
as a child.
where the guy
It's Beethoven. He come
grabbed
in,
his
knocks down all
camera
the plants,
and the cop didn't do
flowers
shit.
and
I remember
flower beds.
those bits.
And he
No.
got like a sort of a bow on and everything.
Yeah.
Beethoven, you little motherfucker!
No, that's
Like that.
the bit I don't remember. No.
But it's actually a big part of the film.
Oh, okay, right.
Beethoven,
rewatch
sadly,
it.
didn't even know that was wrong. Or like, if you're in a film with a baby, it's like a little baby like that, like
Yeah.
this. It's
Oh,
only.
a monkey like you were. You were
Oh,
in the
that
film.
little dickhead.
Yeah.
That monkey that I was in Rocker Ages with.
Yeah.
It was living the Vida Loca.
Right, had its own trailer, didn't it?
Its own caravan. It had monkey girlfriends in it, and during the intervals, it would go in there and kiss and cuddle them to relax it.
How do you know that? Because just
I was in there as
you
well.
were in there. Yeah.
I said, "Oh, is this open to everyone?" Well, Mr. Brown, they are baboons.
Mr. Brand, you are wanted on set. You've been there for 3 hours.
Just one more minute. Just one more minute. Just one more precious minute. Beethoven, you little motherfucker.
No.
There he is.
There he is.
Beethoven didn't know what Charles Grodin wanted.
No.
None of us do. He's a complicated man.
Good actor.
He's a complicated man.
So,
Yeah, so I was in Death Down and Up. No?
is that the main story?
Main
That's
story.
what we came onto Rumble for.
All right, no, listen. If you've
He
just
seems
joined
like
us
just a
on Rumble,
good
you
guy
believe the
all
truth, you can
around.
handle the truth, and we believe you can handle the truth. Check this out. I mean, can this be true?
Bo seems like he's pretty
Tell us
genuine.
in the chat, because if this is true, this is not only a groundbreaker, it's a ground zero breaker. A declassified court filing from the Guantanamo Military Commission.
He was actually the one that
concerning
inspired
cases
me
of
to
defendants accused of planning the 9/11
get
terrorist
this
attacks in New York
compensation
City suggests
report.
that two of the hijackers were being
He
closely
said, dude,
monitored
they're going to blow
and
that money
possibly
anyway.
recruited by the CIA.
Even if you don't need it, go and get it.
Before the attacks on the World Trade Center. Is this emerging evidence, Gareth Roy, that the CIA was somehow involved in the execution of 9/11? I mean, you don't want them in any way. And is it at best the evidence that the CIA should have intervened and prevented it? What the hell is going on? Why can't we have an open discourse?
Well, we already don't have an open discourse about 9/11, don't we? I mean, Saudi Arabia, going back to Saudi Arabia and making them pariahs, I mean, we know that there were like financial ties between, well, it's certainly claimed, allegedly, very nice, that like there was financial assistance provided.
Actually, we're on Rumble. I don't need to press
No,
that.
you don't need to.
If we could speak freely elsewhere, but we can't. It's the simple truth.
That the terrorists involved were being supplied financially by Saudi Arabia, and that the reason why Bush administration downplayed the Saudi connection was obviously because of oil. And coming back to
That songbird
issue that we were talking about regarding the semiconductors, so that's already one thing that isn't being thoroughly investigated, or so it hasn't been revealed.
I also heard that there were members of the Saudi royal family that were flown out. I think that was in like a Michael Moore documentary.
I think that's right,
It's a good song.
yeah. What's the connection to the...
because the war was for freedom.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that works.
Sweet lady freedom.
Nicely done.
There's one lady we love above all others, gal. It's sweet lady freedom. Beethoven, you motherfucker! The court filing suggests that the CIA obstructed official 9/11 investigations to conceal its infiltration of Al Qaeda. He obstructed the official 9/11 investigations. This is from Grey Zone. We got to get
Max
Blumenthal.
Yeah,
We've got to get him on.
Kit Klarenberg, I think it is.
Kit Kattenberg, not what you called him earlier, Kit Kattenberg.
Yeah, I
that's
got
a
it wrong.
totally different.
Did
case.
you?
That's the porn version.
That's right.
Of him, who we would also.
Great articles, though.
Well, you would. In a state of continued ecstasy. A former FBI.
I've been posting
special agent
one
with
short a
extensive
day
knowledge
of
counterterrorism
that
and
rumors,
counterintelligence matter said
the Fleetwood Mac
attempt to
tribute band,
recruit Al-Hamzi
just to
and
get some out
Al-Nidar
there.
was an operation directed by the Central Intelligence
You know what?
Agency.
It's not a bad idea. I'll just do a bunch of 1 minute shorts of each song.
Come on, give us more.
Of course, I did a full song in landscape mode, and
Give us more.
it's set to be posted on our anniversary, which is actually May 1st, but it's already copyrighted, even though it's not Fleetwood Mac
Obviously,
singing
this will
it.
all be under for many people under the kind of banner of conspiracy. But
Yeah.
Also,
Unjustice
the
just
reason
posted
why
a
there's
short as well.
conspiracy and conspiracies around this, or alleged conspiracies, is because we don't obviously have all the truths around it. I mean, just what we were talking about, kind of the financial ties and things. I mean, the American people deserve that, surely, don't they?
You tell us in the chat. I don't know anymore. Now, do you want to see the
Yeah.
ties between the Biden family and Burisma, an energy company in Ukraine, or do you want to see Rod Hull operating a marionette
Pull it up.
land-bound bird?
I don't know why I can't click on links or anything, or go to channel and StreamYard. It's
on a
stupid.
British TV show. Tell us in the chat, and we will go to whatever one you
One or the
request.
other, is it?
Those are your options.
Okay.
You can either have a Rod Hull emu. That's the first answer. Let's have a look at that.
There you go. Go to channel.
Okay, so yeah. Let's have a look. Let's check it out. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Only for a minute.
6 views. That's it. All right. Yeah, Snoop was not happy there. That's for no volume. All right, let's go back here for a second. Why is there no fucking volume?
Rod, how you doing?
Oh, hi again! Stop it. I'm sorry about that. He's evil and he can do what he likes. Isn't that right, gang? So there you are.
Okay, so that means my topic.
I want to see the bits where he really. Can you find the bits where Rod's really attacking Snoop Dogg? I think Snoop Dogg doesn't play ball anymore. That's my favourite bit of this. For a moment, we saw our guest waiting, Shanna Swan, an eminent doctor who's improved that the impact of phthalates on male sperm count is detrimental and maybe even deleterious to our entire species.
All right,
down the
I
line.
figured it out.
And I will tell you
I had
now,
it turned down on the regular page.
at a glance, possibly.
I did.
Shanna
I did.
was not amused, possibly by your constant harping on about Beethoven.
Not amused.
Well done. That's a good pun. Okay. Is that a good pun? I liked it. Can we see a bit? Oh, look at this bit. Snoop Dogg's going to bite back now, I think. Is this the bit? Let's have a look at this, and then we'll show you how the Biden family have affiliated.
I did see that. After I got a mud club. All right, here we go.
Of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa. It should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future for our.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
Oh my goodness. What's this?
And they need to bear the moral responsibility.
Michael Miles? Okay. Yeah.
Ukrainian energy.
Yeah, I remember that.
The
Drew and Mike
corruption potentially
played that
allegedly.
long time ago. I was supposed to get an email for my mug, and I still haven't. So I'm getting kind of pissy about
It was a weird
that.
TV show, that wasn't it?
I'll fucking do a
Snoop Dogg there,
chargeback.
he's about 19, isn't he?
No.
And
Let me
Snoop
check.
Dogg, as I
I haven't
understand,
checked
was
my
still quite
Proton Mail
strongly
forever,
affiliated
so.
with the Crips, and I think the whole process was irritating. Maybe I'm misremembering it. You know, when you see something in my mind, there's a bit where Snoop Dogg
Snoop Dogg.
and Snoop
Still
Dogg's
nothing.
reminisce.
Yeah.
Like you could see that Snoop Dogg sort of rejected the premise.
Yeah. Have you mixed up Snoop Dogg with Michael Parkinson again? You've done it again. You're always doing that.
I do mix up British Yorkshire TV presenter Michael Parkinson and 80s and 90s hip hop sensation Snoop Dogg frequently. Hey, listen, should we have a look at thing?
All right, thank you for support and subscription. Your payment is being processed. Once it is successfully processed, you can enjoy full Muglo community. It's already processed. Please check your mail, your email to claim your mug. And I've gotten no other emails since then.
Financial ties that are, I would say,
Spam.
compromising and amount of the type of corruption that should be systemically cleansed. They need a kind of enema, a kind of moral enema. They need to be flushed of the systemic corruption that governs them. What you need essentially is an end to career politicians. You need an end to the systemic monetization of the political process through lobbying.
Do you mean I've been scammed out of a mug that I'm probably never going to use?
Owning stocks and shares in the companies they're meant to regulate. But is that going to happen? Is either party going to offer you that? And by the time that such ideas reach the mainstream, will we even be able to procreate? Dr. Shanna Swan's coming up a little later. I'm sorry for the use of the term coming up, given the nature of the conversation. But let's have a look now. First, here's the news. No, here's the effing news, darling.
No, here's the fucking news.
Good news! Joe Biden's running again, even though a former CIA head says he helped Biden with corruption. Even though Biden was suspiciously visiting Ukraine when Hunter was getting a job at a Ukrainian energy company. Democracy! Hooray! 4 more years! Perhaps under Joe Biden, we will live in a futuristic utopia with a decrepit, corrupt, elderly man as the figurehead for this glorious new future. Let's see how the mainstream are handling this.
First tonight, President Biden making it official he is running, well aware of concerns about his age. He hopes the American people will let him, quote, finish the job.
President Biden came into this term as the oldest person in U.S. history to assume the role. And if he wins re-election and is sworn in, he'll break his own record at 82 years of age.
Not a good record. Now I'm older still, and I'm still in charge. The problem with the presidency of Joe Biden is not a personal issue. It's because he's an emblem of institutionalized power. He is an emblem of a Democrat Party that shuts down, even within its own ranks, alternative voices in order to ensure ongoing hegemony. The problem with Joe Biden is the way that he's funded. It's his past. It's what he stands for. It's that he is the very epitome of a career politician that will say whatever's necessary while ultimately legislating on behalf of his donors. There's so many problems with Joe Biden. We've not got time to list all of them, but what we'll focus on is a former CIA head saying that he helped Joe Biden make the Hunter Biden laptop story look like Russian disinformation when it was true from the beginning, and that potentially Hunter Biden's ties to Ukrainian energy companies were greatly assisted by his father. Just imagine for a moment that these are stories about Donald Trump, who I also don't think is the solution. I know some of you do. Imagine how much saturated media coverage this will get. Donald Trump Jr. is working with a Ukrainian energy company, Burisma. Donald Trump was visiting Ukraine to get him that job, potentially. That story would be everywhere, all of the time. The problem, I say, with the liberal establishment is their fetishization of the small differences between them and more overtly corrupt political entities.
Now, despite concerns of his handling of the economy and his age, it does appear President Biden is looking to face those challenges head on and is prepared for another 4 years at the White House.
He's not facing the problems head on. He's just carrying on being president, even though he's much too old and apparently much too corrupt, even in a system that allows a certain degree of corruption. Maybe his corruption is egregious. Certainly a former head of the CIA seems to be saying so.
In the final weeks of the 2020 presidential campaign, the New York Post reported on the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, alleging he used his father's position for personal gain, a claim the president's son has denied. Less than a week later, more than 50 former intelligence officials released a statement that the laptop had all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation.
Our own conversations with journalists like Michael Schellenberger have educated us and helped us to understand that this is how the system works. What happens is someone says, you might want to watch out for some laptop stories. They're disinformation, I tell you. Then when that story breaks, because they already know that story's about to break, you regard it as misinformation. What happened is, allegedly, Joe Biden or his administrative team contacted the CIA and said, could you put together a letter with 50 signatories from the CIA saying that this story is Russian disinformation? So when the story broke, the Biden administration went and say, hey, this is nothing to do with us. The CIA are saying that it's disinformation, misinformation, malinformation. The fact is, it was a strategy to prevent a very damaging story influencing the public and prevent them from voting for the Biden administration. The idea that he would stand again is ridiculous. Notice that these categories of misinformation, malinformation, and disinformation are being escalated, elevated, that we're all hearing about them all the time, simply so there are means, methods, and opportunities to control and censor the type of data we get access to. Not to protect us, but to control the information that we see and the type of decisions we might make, the opinions we might form.
According to a letter released Thursday night from the Republican chairman of the House Judiciary and Intelligence Committees, former CIA
guys.
Deputy
This
Director
work I gotta
Michael
get done.
Morell told congressional investigators the days after the laptop story, Secretary of State Antony Blinken, then a Biden campaign advisor, reached out to Morell and set in motion the events that led to the intelligence officials' public statement.
The problem is you start to feel like you've heard this story 1,000 times. The problem is you start to find it hard to engage in this information because really it just confirms something that you've long sensed, that the system is completely corrupt. The politicians that are in charge of you are corrupt and are in league with corporate and financial interests, that they use the deep state to control the media, and that the idea that they're being offered to you as a fresh alternative is ridiculous. The CIA acted on behalf of the president in controlling a story that could have affected the outcome of an election. Allegedly. The fact is this, only through the imposition of centralized authority through censorship, through new regulations to be able to lock people down, the ability to control social media spaces, can the inertia towards devolution be stopped. All of us are starting to realize now that the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are both corrupt, that career politicians are not the answer, that there needs to be significant changes in our economic, financial, and sociological system, and that neither of those parties are going to deliver that change. The media and the government broadly are trying now to
All right.
narratives that confine our conversation to convenient framing for them. No one wants the rise of new independent media voices.
Did
the
you?
rise
Oh,
of
I just got
new
'em. Okay.
independent political movements, because that is precisely what's required to end this kind of institutional corruption. The idea that there could be an election in 2024 between two elderly men, neither of whom are going to meaningfully change the system, is ridiculous and tells us the deeper truth that we all need to come to terms with. The system is dying. But that's not the only shady deal involved.
Oh, good. Propaganda films. Those are
There's
good.
the laptop, there's the control of the story around the laptop, but what about its content? What about the financial relationships between the Biden family and Ukrainian energy companies? Then Vice President Joe Biden visited Ukraine on a mission to bolster the country's energy industry days after his son Hunter
Yeah, we'll
joined
play that
the
after
natural
Russell.
gas company Burisma in 2014, which a former White House stenographer claims implicates the now 8-year-old in a foreign influence peddling kickback scheme.
So I'm sitting back there with the tape recorder.
I think this
Jake
is almost
Sullivan
done.
comes back and somebody asks him about fracking.
Yeah.
His answer is,
About
well,
half
we're
hour.
bringing a lot of American assistance over for fracking. Burisma was the direct beneficiary of that fracking. At the time, Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma, And Joe Biden is bringing American taxpayer money to enrich that company and himself and his family.
But that's only 2 members of the Biden family that are demonstrably corrupt, it appears. There's still probably loads of other Bidens that are completely reliable. On Monday, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer revealed we've identified 6 additional members of Joe Biden's family who may have benefited from the Biden family's businesses that we are investigating, bringing the total number of those involved or benefiting to 9. Last month, Comer announced his committee had found evidence that at least 3 Biden family members and 2 associates received payments that originated from China in 2017.
I used
Fewer than
170
2
gigs
months
of
after Joe Biden left office as Barack Obama's vice president. Bank
broadband
records
in
subpoenaed
this
by the committee
office
show that
last
State
month.
Energy HK Limited, a firm affiliated with Chinese Communist Party-backed energy company CEFC, China Energy, wired $3 million to Biden family associate Rob Walker in March 2017, who then divvied it up over a period of about 3 months, Comer said. It appeared the first son, Hunter Biden, received about $610,000 in payments as part of the 2017 deal, while first brother James Biden got roughly $360,000, and the president's daughter-in-law, Haley Biden, received $25,000. The panel's March memo also enlisted an unknown Biden, who received 4 payments in 2017, totaling $70,000. Hunter Biden's longtime business partner, Eric Schwerin, made at least 8 visits to the White House in 2016, bringing his total number of visits during the Obama-Biden administration to 27. Is this good enough for you as a system of government? Is this good enough to warrant another 4 years of Biden administration? Are you willing to accept that degree of nepotism and corruption? If you are a Democrat supporter, would you not be appalled if the same exact things were being said of the Trump family? What does it say about our political systems more broadly that we just accept this kind of corruption, that it almost kind of bores us? What it shows you is that Joe Biden is the perfect symbol for where American democracy is right now. The appearance of general conviviality, but deep state corruption when it comes to the misuse of CIA powers, inappropriate financial behavior when it comes to members of his own family, a peculiar coincidence that soon after these connections with Ukraine and China, there are wars that involve those countries on their own. It doesn't instill a great deal of trust, does it? It seems that the media
Ooh, nice.
and American politics more broadly
You have to show
are
us
in alliance
afterwards.
with
Mine
one another
does
in
my
some
garage. We
desperate
can't even
attempt
park a
to
car in my
maintain
garage. There's so
some
much
kind
shit
of
in it.
centralized
I
status
was hoping to
quo,
work
when
on it a little
all
bit
of this
last weekend,
evidence
but
points
it just
to
rained
the
all
dawning
weekend.
of a
So.
new political era, more devolution, more decentralization, a new experimentation with federalism. It's time, I think, to consider some radically different political solutions. How can you be motivated to get out and vote, let alone be excited about the potential for voting for
Hey, Dirty
Joe
Doug.
Biden in 2024, knowing
See you later,
that whether or
357.
not these actions are legal, they certainly feel corrupt. They're certainly not the kind of political leaders that we're going to require.
We gave away 2
if
more
we're
pairs
to
of
change
the
world.
boots
How do
yesterday
these kind of stories
at,
make you
over at the
feel
other
about
place,
your
Electra
political
Prime.
system?
These
How do they
guys
make
seem
you feel
earnest.
about
They
your
really they
media?
wanted
How
to
do
work,
they
and they
make
were
you
just
feel
like,
about
man,
deep state involvement in managing the outcomes
we were
of an
hoping you guys would have the little
election?
caps or
Some of the
something here. I'm like,
super
we haven't had those in
exciting bots about to
forever.
pay out a bunch of money
Yep.
because of saying untrue things about Dominion voting machines. It shows you that even when you can't
In
demonstrate
fact, it
electoral
reminds
fraud,
me.
the
I
whole
was gonna
system
pull
is
the
fraudulent anyway. So what's the
video.
point in it? And people will criticize me for encouraging voter apathy. Oh, this is what
Yeah.
leads people not voting. So what leads
Still have
people
2
not
pairs
voting?
left. They're
There's
big ones,
nothing
so
worth voting for.
maybe a
There's
while
no
before
one
we
worth
give those out.
investing
But
in. The media is totally corrupt, and I am actually advocating for real, passionate, genuine change instead of continuing down this line of atrophying corruption. What are we trapped in? Some sort of abusive relationship where we allow ourselves to be treated like this and then continue voting for them and advocating for them? Surely it's time for new independent voices. What's wrong with breaking up these systems that are only there to serve the kind of financial corruption and deep state collusion that these stories demonstrate? There is the possibility now for new parties. The Republican Party aren't going to deliver real change. The Democrat Party aren't going to deliver real change. These dear, sweet, doddering old sods are going to give you nothing but the same old corruption. It's time for new, independent political voices. And now there is the technology and the media to carry their message. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you in a second.
No, here's the fucking news.
The comments in locals is blowing up, baby, blowing up. Why can't we be more like France? I mean, it's moving so quick, I can hardly believe that.
Yeah, if I'd have thought they were
Well,
just
I'd
sketchy
eat
and
some
just
fresh
playing
food,
games,
speak
you
a
know,
bit like them. I mean, there are
yeah.
ways.
But they seem earnest that they've been,
Yeah.
hey, we're ready to get to work.
Police
That's
force
it.
occasionally.
The only thing holding us back is not
in a-
having
in a
boots.
motorcade.
And
You can be
of
more
course, in
like
Ohio,
Ross,
they don't
but
have the same
can we
program that
rise
they
up?
have up
That's
here in
Venus
Michigan.
siren,
So it's
venue
like,
siren,
well,
Venice siren.
what size do you wear?
Is Taiwan the new Ukraine? Says
Walked them out to my
Cordalis.
car.
Yeah, globalists are trying to reshift world powers. Fire
And
Girl,
we had
2020
sizes for
our
both
mate.
of them.
Hello there, Fire Girl. I am so not on board with a new proxy war in Taiwan or anywhere, but too bad. Who cares what I think? My brain, my choice. Democrat slogan for 2024: feed the people shit, which is a type of swear word,
Allegedly.
and keep them in the dark. Filled with 369. There's
Allegedly.
nothing intelligent about the CIA. Alex Overton. We need one of those for Gov. Why don't you join the local community? There's a red button. You get access to incredible content. I do weekly meditations. If you want to awaken, if you want to be enlightened, then join us on Locals. Join the movement we're creating. Join us for our live 3-day event in the middle of July. Community. Hey on why.
I have noticed, though,
Wales,
when
where Wrexham is, you will surely.
when I'm watching Crowder on Locals on my phone, it's the audio and video are just like slightly out of sync, and you should just, at least people in chat have stopped railing on him about Dave Landau, but now they're railing about the audio being out of sync, like, you know, like he has any control over that.
You're aware of what Ryan Reynolds and the fella out of Always Sunny in Philadelphia are doing
It
down
seems
in
to stay in
Wrexham.
sync on
Surely
desktop, though.
You're aware of that. Well, we'll be near there doing a festival, a 3-day festival of democracy.
Yeah.
All right, nap time.
Freedom, spirit
We'll
of
see you.
freedom.
We'll see you on Callahan. Thanks for coming by,
Absolutely
Midwest.
brilliant. You're all welcome. There's a link in the description. Post it in the chat. You come and see us. Join us in Locals. This is a real deal what we're doing now. Now, we have to have a macro perspective of what's going on, as well as scrutinizing and analyzing the minutiae of American political life, as well as trying to vivify debate with good humor and good grace. We have to understand the science of the macro narratives. We have to understand if we are a species in decline. We have to understand the molecular and the cosmic simultaneously. I'm joined now by Dr. Shanna Swan, Professor of Environmental Medicine and Public Health, one of the world's leading environmental and reproductive epidemiologist, author of, and we're going to post a link to this, Countdown: How Our Modern World is Threatening Sperm Counts, Altering Male and Female Reproductive Development, and Imperiling the Future of the Human Race. Could there be a more important ontological subject than the future of our
those should be
species
comfortable.
itself? Dr. Shanna,
I haven't even
thank
tried
you
them on,
for
but
joining
I mean,
us for this
Skechers.
conversation, and I apologize in advance for
They're probably
some
not
of the
made
things
to
that
last
happened in the
forever,
last
but
hour. I,
at least
for
until they can get a
example, am
couple
mentally
checks.
ill.
Hi, Russell. It's wonderful to listen to you. I've enjoyed the last hour, actually, and I'm happy to be here and talk to you.
What the hell's... Don't take this the wrong way, Doctor. What the hell's going on with the sperms?
Well, I don't know about your sperms in particular, but sperms in general, actually all over the world, are not doing very well. The count is down about 50% or more, and it's getting worse.
50% in what time frame, and to what do you attribute this radical, sudden, and worrying decline?
So we don't really know where it started, but in our studies, we've been looking at this for 50, 57 years. Other people have looked farther back, but it is going on for a long time, and I would say very dramatically since post-World War II, with the rise of the love of science, the love of modern technology, which I believe is playing a role. So when you say, what does it do to? Not one thing, of course. Yeah. So, but I like to kind of dismiss the things that I'm not going to focus on, right? So it's not going to be genetics. It's not going to be evolution, because it's too fast. That's 2 generations. It's not going to happen that much. Okay. And then there are very important things about how we live. So
Does Anna know about
our
this?
alcohol use, our marijuana use, our stress,
About
our obesity,
Brooklyn audit?
and so on and so forth. These are all really important things. I call them
And the
lifestyle
klepto
factors,
vibes from last
and
night
they're
that got him
going
locked up?
to they do play a role for sure. But there's a whole other category of things which are chemicals in our environment. And that's where I focus my attention, although I have published on these other lifestyle factors as well.
The lifestyle factors, I suppose, ultimately come down to individual freedom of choice. But if there is a epidemic toxicity within our food sources, for example, phthalates in fast foods, then that seems to me to be an immersive and corporatized, if not deliberate, then it's still detrimental and incredibly destructive and avoidable problem that literally threatens the future of our species. The more conspiratorially inclined members of our viewership might think that this is part of a process of diminishing our potency, but approaching this from a data-oriented conversation, what do you think is the problem with our food and toxicity within our food?
So food is definitely a major source of the chemicals I worry about. One of the things that's really serious in our food is plastics. Believe it or not, plastics, chemicals in plastics, and now we're hearing more and more about micro and nanoplastics, which can be measured in food. Here's a little example, okay? You milk a cow by hand, old-fashioned way, no phthalates. You milk a cow with a milking machine, plastic tubing, contains phthalates. Phthalates are in the milk, okay? So you can blow that up and talk about that in all kinds of food, and then you can talk about phthalates that come in when you wrap the food, when you ship the food, when you store the food, when you cook the food. And it's not just phthalates. There are things in our, pans, Teflon, it's not doing us any good. And these things can, what we call, interact with the phthalates and make the problem worse. So it's phthalates plus, I would say.
It's not just sperm, which is a problem enough in itself, I would contest, but also testosterone is being diminished. Now, without wishing to overtly signal to a portion of our beloved viewership, does the ideological attack on masculinity extend to a kind of chemical warfare against sperm and testosterone if we're seeing decline of this degree in such a short time frame? Does it amount to a kind of chemical castration of the portion of the population most likely to become radicalized and rebel against institutional corruption? Now, this is wild conjecture and, of course, beyond the remit of your study. But it's curious, isn't it, to ponder, Doctor, that we are being denied the biochemical impetus for the kind of priapism that could lead to revolutionary change, that we're becoming neutered at the same time as
to the whole community.
Culture appears to be diminishing the
and then the
obedient
spout
traits
lies
that
as he's being
likely might
arrested,
lead
even though
to meaningful
he fucking recorded himself.
What do you reckon to all of that, then?
So testosterone is also declining.
Let's make it about violating his rights.
We have less evidence on that, but we have quite a bit. And we see not only measured in studies, showing testosterone declining, but also reports and data from physicians' offices where more and more younger men are coming in for testosterone replacement therapy.
Yeah, we're going to be going back to glass bottles for everything.
Men are being seen for erectile
Which
dysfunction.
I prefer my Coke with real cane sugar and out of a glass bottle. So.
Of course, related to testosterone.
Mexican Coca-Colas.
And let me tell you, it's not just the men. It's also affecting women. So women also have testosterone, right? And in our study, we got the urine of pregnant women. Why? Because you can't know what's in a pregnant woman's body by asking her. I can ask you, how much phthalates in your body right now, Russell? No, you don't know that, right? But we asked the women.
Doctor.
We asked the women, give us our urine, we tested the urine, and the women who had higher levels of phthalates had less successful sex lives. Okay, so that's just I don't want to say a lot about the women. They're very important in here. I don't know how much you want to talk about them, but the book is Countdown emphasizes sperm, and I've been emphasizing sperm, and I've been studying sperm primarily, but I've also studied the female side. So it's not just a male problem, and it's not just a human problem, by the way.
Oh, what do you mean? The animals, their sperm and testosterone is being diminished also. But look, let's not worry about them just yet, although I do love my dog. His sperm is another matter. I want to ask you this as plain as day, dear Dr. Shanna. What the hell are we going to do to reverse this decline in testosterone and sperm? I need every last cell, every last endocrinal advantage I can get needs to be undergirded by sheer science. How am I going to boost those boys back to the good times, build back better like Biden? What are we going to do to get our sperm and testosterone riding high once more?
So what we can do as individuals is kind of limited because we don't have the information we need to make healthy choices, and because the chemicals that are in our products are not regulated. That's just the fact. They're mostly not regulated. And to make it worse, the damage has already been done when we're adults. Okay, so the
So it doesn't matter now.
first hit is the fetus in the womb, because there's the rapid, very rapid cell division that's going on that's extremely sensitive and will govern how that organism develops. So if you mess that up, you cause damage which is not fixable. Okay.
It was pretty close to the. I mean, we can go back and look at it again, but it was pretty close to that precinct.
Are polluting our food sources.
Literally, it looked like the cops were walking over from that after dealing with the owner of it to arrest him. I think that detective that was out there was just keeping him delayed until they could get there.
Because I guess one of the big issues is when you're talking about these. Sorry about that. One of the big issues around this is that, for example, with the FDA, I mean, these are an organization that's meant to regulate these things. And when you have a big food industry that gives so much money to the government to kind of keep these, I'm guessing, profitable endeavors when it comes to plastics in food packaging going, is that a massive issue that we're going to have moving forward? The kind of developments we need to make and the changes in packaging and things and the way that we're going to change this in the future won't be able to occur because of the huge amount of lobbying that goes on within the government. Of course, people like, for example, people who work for the FDA, they're obviously extremely compromised by the kind of money that they receive.
Definitely. I think that's actually correct. I also would like to say it's not just our food. Okay, so these chemicals are in our food, yes, they're in our water, yes, but they're also in our products. If you walk around your kitchen, if you walk around your house, and just take a little inventory of what's made of plastic or what has what we call barrier chemicals, these PFOAs in them, it's everywhere, and we don't know where they are. We, individuals, consumers, should not have to figure this out, right? So I mean, I would challenge you, to ask, how much have you touched plastic? How much have you eaten plastic today? Just think about your day. Maybe, Russell, you would like to do a little inventory of your walk through your house or your car. That little, I don't know if you hang this in your car, a little pine cone, right?
Yeah, I get that right out. They put that in at the car wash. I whip it out. I dispose of it sensibly. I hate that little guy. What does it do? I've always mistrusted it. What does it do? Sometimes the one that's like a Christmas tree, that's the worst one. What's it doing? What's it doing?
So he got online with them?
Downstairs magic factory.
So I actually had a hard time hearing all of that, to tell you the truth.
Did he call him live or something?
Probably for the best. Yeah. No, I was saying, it's like those, those sort of little Christmas trees that you hang up on your rear view mirror. Are you saying that they cause problems to sperm and testosterone? That's a more sensible way of framing what was, frankly, a very silly question. But was the same general gist.
Oh Jesus! And it's on that.
Yeah.
link?
And
Who are you?
let me just add that it's more. I want to just mention a couple of other things that are hurting our sperm.
All right, I'll open that one up. Get it ready
How
to.
about cosmetics? How about personal care products? How about what you put on your face this morning? Here's an example. If you put on a face cream or some,
I want to see some of the chat.
that
An hour and
gets
20
absorbed
minutes.
into your skin. And one of the things that helps that get absorbed is phthalates. Phthalates not only make plastic soft and flexible, they also increase absorption. When you put something with a nice scent, that's going to contain phthalates because phthalates help a product hold its scent. And if your partner puts on lipstick or nail polish, that's going to contain phthalates, because phthalates make the thing hold the scent and the color. So those are just
Ultra right. Yeah, I heard it.
In every phase of
Ultra
our
right.
life, we're getting this stuff in, and we haven't agreed to this, right? Nobody
Yeah, I've seen. I didn't. I thought it was
asked
just
us
a joke at
to
first when I
test
saw
these
it. I didn't
chemicals,
think that
but
was
we
really.
really are the lab rats on this because they have not been tested. So what has to happen? It goes into the product. Somebody like me does a study. We say, there's an association between an exposure and this bad outcome. And then eventually it goes maybe to the regulatory branch, and then they consider whether they should change the regulations, and then they have to retool the industry and make a new product. You can see that this takes a very, very, very long time, right? And so meanwhile, we're all exposed, and our sperm count is going down, and our fertility is going down.
Oh man, this ain't good news that you've given us there, because a lot of that stuff's unavoidable. We're going to have to just use glass. We're going to have to get into organic farming. In a sense, God, isn't it? How many times do we have to be reminded that we ought to remain within the remit of our anthropology? That, in a sense, the miracle that plasticity provided in terms of our ability to generate consumer goods has been immediately countered by medical consequences, and it's something that has to be not only addressed but plainly reversed, it would seem.
Yeah, reversal is possible, Russell. It actually is possible, but it will take, based on animal experiments, take 3 generations. So that's good for the animal because a rat has a 2-year lifespan, so 3 generations, 6 years, right? But for humans, it's going to be a much longer time. So meanwhile, before these things are totally cleared up, we have to limit their invasion, I call it, invasion of these chemicals into our bodies by educating ourselves and educating our friends and our neighbors, like talking on this show, which is what I'm trying to do. And, turning to, I have to say, alternative means of conception.
Oh, no. Alternative, even conception. Listen, we're watching the chat right now, Doctor. People, whilst they're not plainly enjoying being informed that there is immersive toxicity being absorbed through our skin, through numerous products, through everything that we touch, and that is having such an evident and observable detrimental, deleterious effect on our productivity and procreative capacity. There's a lot of love for your communication skills and for your message. Imaginary Coffee, for example, saying simply, she's brilliant, and people are commending you for popularizing the idea that that which we absorb for our skin is being absorbed more broadly into our systems, and people are sending you love, and people are sick and tired of the regulations. A lot of people think Gareth's question was childish and ineffective, and they're very happy that I pressed that button that played the French horn sound. Dr. Shanna Swan, thank you so much for thank you for giving us this important information. I'm going to take that laptop right off of my lap. Shouldn't have the word lap in it. I bet that's doing all sorts of downstairs damage, even as it sits there. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the polite and appropriate way you've conveyed these difficult messages. It's clear that there's a political component to this, a consumer component to this. Ultimately, it will become about being conscious about what we're doing to our bodies and the way that we're consuming products, and probably challenging the ideology that sees our roles primarily as consumers is going to be a big part of this. Thank you, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
Such a lovely person. Thank you. You can read more about Dr. Shanna's book by getting it and then read the book. Read that, get it, and read it, and then do what he says in there. It's called Countdown: How Our Modern World is Threatening Sperm Counts, Altering Male and Female Reproductive Development, and Imperiling the Future of the Human Race, or as an acronym, I've reduced it to an acronym.
Oh, okay.
Why not? Also, though, well, what should we do now? I mean, I think we've finished the show.
Yeah, that seems to. Yep. I mean, time has passed, doesn't it?
All right.
Time has passed.
Master of us all.
Time, you've got us in your arms once more.
Urinary meatus.
Used to say in the film Beethoven.
Right.
Beethoven, you little motherfucker.
Yeah. Didn't have phthalates to deal with in those days.
Well, they did, but they didn't know they did. They was filling up little Beethoven's nut bag with phthalates.
The dawn of them, wasn't it? The
Grodin
80s.
sounds like the decay of the balls.
Right.
Oh no, I've got Grodin in my testes because of these phthalates.
Yeah.
You little motherfucker. No, Gareth, I gave myself such joy when I heard that, because I'd forgotten what that button did. It just says Gareth's question.
Okay.
When I pressed that while you were asking a really insightful, brilliant, and on-message question for the type of framing that we like to offer on our show.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Yeah.
Well, you did do that, and then when I heard this, like underneath it, and like also with Dr. Shadow Swan, who's obviously such a good sport, but plainly, like anyone, doesn't understand what the hell's going on.
Well, I think it's only you that does, to be honest.
I've got a master plan here. It's all
hope so.
going extremely well. It's actually what we're supposed to be doing, so no one needs to worry at all about anything, really. I like panela for sugar. It's very unprocessed and dark and tastes wonderful.
Who are ya?
Coffee, says Little Renegade.
Right.
No aftertaste. I'll try. Then
It's
people talk
Gregory
about BO. Do
Dardarian.
you like burgers, BO? I
been
like
hanging
mine
out with
too.
us quite a bit.
I still wear it so I don't smell in public, Lol. You're BO. Gone from latex to silicone for medical supplies. Anyway, that's what they're all chatting in here. They all love each other.
Ducks
in here.
himself
Did
in
you
his
know
first
that? You
channel.
can join this community, by the way. Press that red button on your screen and join a beautiful group of international
This
folk
is
who are
just the
interested
outro
in
prep.
progress,
Let's
tolerance,
go to
acceptance,
Anna's
and love innovative ideas.
propagandas.
Like that. Will you
Attention, please. This film, now released for public showing, has been captured from the enemy. It is a typical example of vicious Japanese propaganda.
Cock-a-doodle-doo, please.
We are now privileged to witnessing demonstration of Japan's finest air raid siren. And now pleased to observing a rook at listening post. Over here, our honorable aircraft spotter. Now we are showing you fire prevention headquarters. Oh, son of gun, 2 raid. Incendiary bombs. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Oh, losing faith, please. Losing faith.
Kitchen hints. Oh, to demonstrate how to constructing the delicious Japanese club sandwich. Rice bread ration card, so. Raise a piece of a meat ration card, so. Then eat them. Oh, yum yum sandwich. After eating, you were enjoying a crab. Presenting Nippon News Styles of the Week. Presenting Japanese victory suit. No cuffs. No pleats. No lapels. No suit. These are Red Toga-san bringing you highlights in the world of sport. Here we are seeing Japanese King of SWAT. Headline personality. And I, Yamamoto, will dictate peace terms in the White House. General Hama demonstrates coolness and calmness of a Japanese officer during air raid. Crashes from the Axis. Berlin. Flash, the Fuhrer has just received a postcard from a friend vacationing abroad. Rome. The Rome Chamber of Commerce takes us for a visit through its celebrated ruin. For Japanese Navy or at sea. Oh, believe it or don't, this submarine launched 3 weeks ahead of schedule. Inside submarine, Vera sailors work in maze of intricate machinery, indicators and control levers. Oh, very, very technical. These happy gentlemen are navigating a human torpedo. Very, very dangerous stuff. But he are not caring. Are you, happy gentlemen? Ye are courageous like Dickens. Happy gentlemen, have you anything to say? Oh, no, nothing except... Rat me out of here! Now we are sneaking glimpse of plane being launched by super-duper catapult device. And here are Zero Fighter demonstrating new tricycle landing gear. Approaching into our scene are Honorable Skinamaru.
He has no limits, right?
little vessel on Navy mine.
How did you get this guy send this twice? Something. Looney Tunes.
That's all, folks.
That's crazy. That's Looney Tunes. Oh my. Wow, that's a long stream with News Now Ninja. Let's watch some flex real quick first.
Have a good night. They're still going to be here, so.
If no one's here, usually I just go outside.
They're going to be here for a little bit.
If you're trying to get the ball,
I don't work for a Vectrum, so.
will you come out and help us with this investigation? I am looking to sell this pin code to any viewer watching. Billy B, BCNN, folks.
Oh no, it doesn't take much at all. Nope, hate is easy for anybody, unfortunately. Smells like mildew.
How are you guys? Doing good, sir. Can I ask what you're filming? Yes. We're the leader in real news. BCNN. Billy B, how we doing today? Good, how are you? You know, I'm doing pretty well. Do you work in this bank? I do not work for the bank. I work for the property owner. I'm trying to find out what safe does this bank use? And if we find the safe, what is the code to that safe? You'd have to go talk to the bank. Okay, that's kind of why I'm trying to wait for one of them to come out. I want it to be a conversation to where just me and the person can hear, because they'll just snitch on the employer. The employee will not want to speak to us about that. Well, I can tell you they're probably going to call corporate security because they don't allow filming of their bank locations. So just to give you guys a heads up. Okay, thank you, thank you. I'll probably have warranties on me. I cannot be... I definitely cannot get caught for this bullshit. So, well, I mean, your best bet is just to walk in and talk to them if you want. And if they want you to leave, I guess they could ask you to leave. You can make a lot of money if you get those codes. You know how much money I've made so far? $6,900 just for one time. So, I mean, if you, hey, you know, I'll hook you guys up. I got some coke. I got a bunch of shit. A baggie with a little coke. I'm just letting you know, the corporate security will probably be on there. Well, I actually appreciate that because I can outrun them, and thank you for the warning, brother. Have a good one. BCNN, sir. Yeah, he's locked out. I locked him out. Ah, damn it. He cut my view off.
You mean crimes that we can't control? The Clinton Foundation has gotten out of hand down there?
Hold on a second.
Yeah. I was thinking it before I read what you typed, Anna.
It's Karen. It's the Karen. You know, zoom in. See that obese thing on the right? I don't know if that's a boy or a women's. However, it does not like real news, and it flipped me off earlier. It's a bad Karen. Real news only. BCNN, baby. BCNN.
Yep, I knew that was your vehicle, sir. The one that just got in the red. I think that's a man. Sir, stop taking pictures. Stop. Stop. He's on his camera. Karen, no. Stop. Stop taking pictures. What the hell? Officer, arrest them. They're taking pictures. Stop. Shut. Get out of here. Keep going. Please. Golly. Can you believe this? Bye, Karen. And that one flipped me off. She does not like real news, folks. But guess what? I don't like her. Guys, these guys do not like real news. I'm back out there, folks. We are back out there. We are active.
Little video.
Sexually, probably not, but you know,
on
with this
Rumble
bullshit
the other day.
news, we are active. We are out here. And these guys are snitches. They're absolute snitches. Yeah,
I'm gonna
Grandma's
make you
a
play a
girl.
short video if you are setting it up.
Trust me, she will.
For a later time.
She'll do anything for a baggie of Mary James.
So I have a little normal.
No, it's 11 Bravo, 1 Papa, Airborne Infantry, baby. Release some bullshit videos for you guys. You guys deserve some good shit.
Work for Regions or you contact?
Got an idea, man. Show up at any of our banks again tomorrow. I'm pressing harassment charges on you.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Oh, is Nerd gonna cry? Oh, you're gonna cry, Nerd? Look at this nerd. Look at this nerd. Oh, his baby butt hurt. Get out of here, nerd. Get the hell out of here. Whoa! Get out of here. Get going.
You guys have got to be the biggest losers I've
Hey, put this on your forehead. Put the L on your forehead, you nerd. You gonna cry? Oh, you're gonna cry, you nerd. Yeah, do something, you fat cuck. What you gonna do, little gay boy?
How'd that sound, gay boy?
Touch my. I'll punch them. Yeah.
No, this is not live.
Do it.
This
Don't
is
touch me.
from
I
the
touched it.
last week.
Want to go? Bitch? You
Touch
want
me.
to go?
Touch me again.
You want to touch my shit?
What are you gonna do?
You want to touch my shit?
I touched
You want
it.
to touch my shit, fat boy? Get the off. Get off me. Get off of me.
You just assaulted me.
You came up
I
to
didn't
me.
touch
You're touching my
I
shit.
touch you.
Don't
You
touch
assaulted me. You assaulted me.
No, hey, officer, this little bitch boy
Watched
comes
it.
up. He's fucked up. This is $2,000.
You touched me. I didn't touch you.
You came up to me
I didn't
and assaulted
touch
my
you.
shit.
I didn't touch your physical
You came up
ass.
to me.
And if I wanted to,
You
I would
can't
break your face.
Look at this little boy. What the fuck is this? What the?
You seen it?
Yeah, he can't. Look at that. I have it all on video. Yeah, this bitch. Hey, officer, he just came up to me, assaulted me.
Yeah. Stand your ground state, dumbass.
Pardon me?
This is a stand your ground state. Somebody assaults you, you can. I didn't touch you.
Hey, you did. You. Get up. Look at this.
Don't let him go.
Hey, officer, you just witnessed this. You literally just witnessed an assault.
Name and badge number.
Yeah, what the? That's a lawsuit. That's dereliction of duty. What's your name and badge number?
Brant B3722.
Brent B37 what? 22. It's not smart, Brent. You could have looked good. You just let him assault me. Hey, we'll be coming over there. It's not going to be good for you, buddy. Look at that shit.
Body
He
cam
just
alert.
witnessed me get assaulted. My equipment fucked with.
He needs to get his ass out of Waterloo. I'm glad he's so well armed.
Hey, officer, this little boy comes up, he's fucked up. This is $2,000. Touch me. I didn't touch you. Came up to me. I didn't assaulted my. I didn't touch you. You came up to me. And if I wanted to, I would look at this little boy. What the f is it?
Just don't give him the pleasure.
Yeah, he can't. Look at that shit. I have
Just wrong.
You can cuff him right now.
Cuff him for what?
Hey, officer, he just came up to me, assaulted me.
Yeah.
Fuck up. Stand your ground state, dumbass. This is a stand your ground state. If somebody assaults you, you can have it. Yeah, you did, you bitch. Look at this.
Don't
Don't
even
let
feed
him
him.
go. Hey, officer, you just witnessed it. You literally just witnessed an assault. Name and badge never said you're ready. Yeah, what the f? That's a lawsuit. That's dereliction of duty. What's your name and badge number?
Brant B3722. Have a good day, guys. 22.
Don't worry. A little fat nerd. Oh, well, we're going to Waterloo. Oh my God, we gotta fix this real fast. He was
Sweet.
close to getting decked in the face, but it's probably good I didn't. I was just pushing him off me.
Oh, why didn't try to attack me? This would have been a chance.
Little nerd. Titillating content. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be glorious. That just shows right there. Waterloo PD doesn't give a fuck about me because they don't like me. He witnessed a assault right there. He comes up to me in my face with my $2,000 nerd ass equipment. And then what does Waterloo officer want to do while he's watching? Nothing. What the hell? Yeah, fuck shit up. This is $2,000 worth of stuff. It's a lot of money. You know, if he actually cuffed that guy up, that would be another story. Ought to make him get on his knees, open his mouth, and apologize that way. But no, you know, he didn't want to. Okay, I'm sure you guys are well aware of what transpired with just Officer Justin Burnett. Complete dereliction of duty, just got assaulted by a nerd. Everything's on video, like I said today. But I definitely need complaints for him for dereliction of duty. And then I need to press charges on that guy for fucking attacking me on the public side.
I get you.
Okay.
You need to fill it out now or complaint form
Yeah, that's what I showed you.
like card on the top, and then that's the case number on the back.
No, this was I think last week, or maybe even the week before.
Come on.
Hello. Yeah, no worries. So there's two things I need to do. This is the officer complaint form for yesterday. I got attacked by an officer's friend. He did absolutely nothing. Damaged my equipment and everything. So I need, if you could give me a copy of that, just with a timestamp on it, so I know you guys received it. And then I also need to FOIA request his body cam for that. So I have open records request. Yeah, that's fine. Do you have like a little piece of paper? Oh, I guess like one of those that I could just jot it down, the FOIA. All right, thank you.
After I did do my FOIA first.
And they charged me a couple $100. I don't know, $10.
A bigger piece of paper for you.
Oh, okay.
And there's the copy for you.
Okay, perfect. They leave the same, and that's the case number. All right, let me take a picture. And can you please give me a copy of this with the date on it as well? Okay. The contact info is in the bottom corner. Yeah, email, or if you want to send physical mail, that's my address right there if you want it. Yeah, I just have. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Yep. Okay, thank you. Awesome, thank you very much. Okay, perfect, thank you. Remember, guys, the real change here comes from you. Your voice is heard. It's up to you guys. When you see injustice, speak up. What are you going to do? Going to pick that phone up? You're going to write that nerd-ass email? All the contact information is going to be in the description and comment section. Remember, if
Yeah,
you
Waterloo
sit
PD.
idle, nothing will change. Nothing will be done about this. It's literally up to you guys. Make your voices
Which one, the
heard.
cop? Brant?
Thanks again, nerds. Yeah, you're a tyrant. Suck my dick.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, arrest me, huh?
MPD, Waterloo.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this deep.
Oh, I don't think they know that yet.
Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a cop,
You gotta know
never
that cop
change. Play
knows.
the game that we say. I need a break.
Blasting the effects at the end there. All right, this is News Now Ninja's attempt to pay that store owner, I guess, to not press charges on Brooklyn.
Conversation to have tonight about a situation that's happened, and myself and Erie County did our best to try to fix said situation, and we kind of wanted some opinions from the people to find out what you think about it. So I'll give y'all a minute to get up in here. Estadon, yo, I've been loving your content. For real. Even though you're just out in nature, that's one of my favorite things. I really appreciate your content, love. Can you see the live chat, Erie?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Sweet.
What's up, Accountability Angel? What's
They
up,
answered me
Greg?
right away. I just sent them my address. They're sending me my
Oklahoma,
mug.
Colorado, James
All right, I gotta go
Freeman.
check the
Hey, what's
door.
up, man? My opinion, do it. That's funny. What's up, Press with Ranker? Heather Holt, Brandon. Everybody that's joining in. I'm going to give you all a second. Let everybody flood in here. It takes time for the electronics to transfer throughout the nations. So what we're talking about is that is an orange that someone stole worth $150. That's what we're talking about. Should you charge someone $150 for a $1 orange if they stole it from you and they're willing to fix it? That's the question.
The winner gets the
the prize because they earn less.
Okay.
Oh, James.
And crazy me, I love contests.
Okay, no worries. I'll get you pulled up.
Okay.
Has a crush on Erie?
And just say I was laid off. And
James Freeman likes
they're
you,
gonna
bro. He
ask.
said if you become a girl, he'll love you.
I'll just do like the last year, and that way you can see the gaps. And stuff
That's
like
a weird
that.
statement.
Beard. It's the beard.
And
Has an effect on people.
end of May.
What's up,
Okay.
Indiana?
You're kidding me. I'm
What's
going
up,
to start
correction?
climbing walls. I'm going
Gloria.
to make ladder like that.
Auditing Erie County.
Well, you're gonna be able.
County
You should be able to
family,
get on
welcome in.
Plymouth, all right?
I don't know.
So, and how many people seen Brooklyn Audits live with the orange? Give me a 1 in the chat if you've seen it.
I want to win something like that.
Let's work on this. Good guy. What's up, yo?
I'm, my sister calls me, hey, your old turkey's trying to get
Peter wants to see
new
my
laptop.
face.
I go,
There you go.
yeah.
My phone was in the way. All right, a 1.
I'm lucky the work pays
So-
for this stuff, so
Huh?
my work pays for these. So
Oh.
We have some recordings.
this one's getting kind of old,
With
but
the
this one's
owner
more.
of
It's,
the place where the orange was taken
It's
from.
Chrome. The laptop, his name is Chrome. Something like that.
Oh,
He
Chromebook?
told us
Yes.
if we gave him $150,
I agree.
he would drop all the charges.
I
Which we
checked
get
around
because it comes
information,
down
you know,
to
different
what,
places, and
Erie?
they say that that's
Principle.
a good one and it has more.
That you don't
you
take
can have
something
more,
that's not yours.
Um,
And
in there. I'm
so tonight we're talking about
sorry, I had to bother you.
well, no worries. I was
an
just
orange worth
wrapping things up, but I'm
$150
glad to help you.
because
But that's what they.
if he gets
what they
charged for
ask
this,
in, because they say that they're going to
or
check.
he has already been charged for this, I guess.
And hey, I'm not going to
It's $1,000.
anything here.
Brooklyn Audits, aka Aladdin. Oh, fuck.
So
What?
cool.
Good guy.
Goes back all the way to
Brooklyn
last,
Audits, aka Aladdin.
and the gap whenever they did the layoffs. So
yeah, it's $1,000 and a
It's
year
not
in
that I
jail
quit.
No.
better than $150 for an orange? Because the owner of the
No, I get
store
it. I get it.
that the orange was taken
I'm
from
sorry.
No, you're good.
told us
I'll even-
he
I'll
wouldn't
write
drop
on-
charges unless we gave him $150. And then I was like, hey, well, we'll send it to you right now. Just drop the charges.
Is it fun?
And he said, what?
It's work.
Huh?
I
It's
don't
work.
got Zelle.
Yeah, but I have to
I
take
don't
over
have
the doctors
Venmo.
with my mom. all
No, I
the
get
time.
it.
Way you're
And then I
It's convenient. It's
do it
definitely
is
does
come to
make
my-
it easier. Do
my
you have internet and
place
stuff
and
at
give
the
me
house?
cash.
no, but I'm going to try to get it. And mine's going to be.
I tried to give him Venmo, but he didn't want to give
And
me.
what the
Or I tried to give him
doctors
Zelle, but he didn't want to give me
tell me
his
I
phone
put it
number.
on. And
And then Erie tried to give him Venmo, but he didn't have that. And so, should we cover the $150 orange,
and they're on oxygen.
or should we
Make
let the
sure
man
it's
sit?
not too
Y'all tell
high
me.
because the lungs
This is all
can-
about transparency.
when
You
you're older,
know, like
the
Scar 'em.
lungs get harder
Brooklyn's my homie.
and all
I
that.
talk to him all the time.
And then CO2.
But I've never been out with him. But I've been out with
Yeah,
Erie.
CO2,
I've been out with Rogue.
it's
I've been out with a
like
lot of different people, and we have each other's backs
You know,
to
the
a
active
certain
coma and
extent.
stuff like that. And that's what I'm learning.
But should we pay for the $150
I
orange,
got my mom into ICU.
or should we
They're trying to take the
let the
carbon
man
dioxide
deal
out
with
of the
taking
lungs.
the orange?
And I asked him, I said, what?
I mean, we definitely tried to pay for the orange, but
They
it
say,
wasn't
well,
happening. The store
they're not
closed.
treating-
He's gone for the night.
or
I don't know when Brooklyn's getting out.
enough. And
Yeah,
that's how they
you're right,
treated it.
Phillies. He really
And the
fucked this
doctor said, "Come over to like a person."
And I think one of the main points that we all need to understand and make here is that, when we're out here making points of accountability on our channels, and that's what we do, I think that stealing while doing that is
I never knew
definitely
about that.
something we can't be doing.
You're learning,
We did try to get them out and get them out of that, but
And
it didn't happen tonight.
We tried our best, guys. Like, we offered this dude money through any way that we could send it to him to pay for the orange so that the charges could be dropped. Just so everybody knows, just to clear the air, Erie and myself have been on the phone for an hour and a half, trying to find a way to cover the price of this orange. And the guy wasn't having it. he's, you know, he's like, it's about the principles. You don't steal from me. And that's facts, guys. Just because this is a coin that's only worth $1.
What day did it happen? Was it?
Doesn't mean that I'm not going to be really
It
mad.
was
if
after
you try to
Easter,
take
right?
this from me.
So.
I might want $10,000.
No, I mean, what day did you?
My coin.
Did I
Did you
follow?
pass out? Yeah.
You know, so
It's a week after Easter. I
no,
think
it's
it was
not a
on,
joke, Gloria.
Thursday.
It's not a joke. I have a couple recordings I can play for y'all real quick.
Yeah, he took an orange, then he went straight to the police station on a live with the orange in pocket. Not smart.
They clapped you out.
Oh, okay.
No, he took the evidence. Whoop.
Sorry of all the problems.
All right. Let me play y'all a little bit of what happened. Give me a 1 in the comment section if y'all want to hear the conversation. And stealing is wrong. Remember that, guys. Always remember, stealing is wrong. Like, even if you just take a piece of toilet paper from me, like, you're taking something from me that I paid for. So
No, I had to, but there's like $10 for these ones. I like them just because they're easy. You can use them on any computer. You just this
but
here
I believe tonight that he made a mistake.
unplugs from there, and if you don't want to lose it, it stores
We
inside.
all make mistakes. So
And the name of that one?
It's a Logitech.
I'm just gonna play the sound, I guess.
Yeah.
Here we
He
go.
stole an orange.
You go to I get them at Best Buy. They're like
I believe
$10.
is what he said.
And they're small.
I think, yeah, that, I
But
believe
the battery
that was
lasts forever.
exactly, quote unquote, is this is my neighborhood and I take what I want. And that's
Yeah,
just
got that. It shows everything.
a harsh thing to
I said,
say.
and I showed that period. I said laid off due to supply chain issue.
Okay.
And then it has been off since
Here we
week ending 4/15 due to injury illness.
Oh, okay.
Hey, is this the food
And
market?
actually, let me just staple one of my cards to it. So if they have any questions they want to ask me or anything like that,
Hey, how you doing today?
Thank you.
no problem.
Can y'all hear that? Please give me a 1 in the comments if you can hear that. If not, I can try to increase volume or something.
Okay, yeah, they can give me a shout if they have any questions. Though.
Thank you, Audie.
Good luck. I hope it works out for you. All right? And just keep us updated as far as what the medical parts are going to say. Okay.
And you probably hear me going,
Yeah, you probably will.
Did y'all have anybody still?
Good luck to you on that.
Tonight? Are y'all pressing charges on anybody?
Thank you for your help.
My name is James.
Where are you calling from, buddy?
I'm calling from home.
So why are you asking? Are you the one who stole the orange?
No, I just heard that there was someone that stole an orange. I don't steal oranges, folks. Okay, so y'all, I'm not the one that stole the orange. I saw it on the YouTube.
You saw it on YouTube?
Yeah, he was on YouTube. What's up, Leroy? Well, I'm concerned about him because NYPD is kind of, crooked. So I was just trying to make sure, are y'all actually pressing charges or?
That's between me and him, buddy. If you're not the guy who stole the orange, it has nothing to do with you.
What if he's my family member?
Now, if you know the guy who stole the orange and you tell him to come pay for it, that's a different story.
Well, I can do that. That's what I'm saying. And so this is where it gets interesting, folks, is that he said, if you know the guy that stole the orange and you can pay for it, that's a different story. And myself and Erie were willing to send this dude $100 or $75, I think is what we settled on. But he wanted $150. So should we give him $150 for an orange after he just said, hey, I'm willing to settle on it if you'll just pay for it? And I do know.
I heard two voices, bro. It's one at a time, man.
It's only me speaking.
I heard the background too. Listen, bro.
There's nobody. It's only me and you on the phone, dude. So what I'm saying is, I do know the guy, but they already arrested him. Do you want to press charges, or can I send you $1 right now to pay for the orange? Yeah, can I pay for the orange? He's not trying to steal nothing from you. He was doing a live stream.
I mean, he's doing a live stream, but he actually stole oranges.
Okay, well, can I pay for the oranges,
yeah.
and you won't drop, and you'll drop the charges?
Really?
I didn't see him face to face.
Okay, well, he's in jail. He's in jail right now, and I can call him. Listen, he's gonna be out. You know how it is in New York. He's gonna be out in less than an hour.
Well, at least we'll
And
have
so if I
probably
send
spend
him
some time
back,
doing some
will you
cleaning
drop charges?
afterwards. Then you
Okay.
think they're probably setting it up for a return visit then?
Yeah, I'll send. No, not me. No, he's my family, brother. That's my family. As long as he comes and talks to me, then that's. So can I send him your way?
And just for all the trolls on the internet, I call everybody
I
family.
mean, it's kind of hard if
because
this
brothers
building
or
180 years
sisters,
old.
whether
So
you're
it's
blood or not,
that's why when people
you're
come
still my
down here, they
brother or
just kind of look
sister.
around like, hey,
I love all of you guys.
the rent's cheap.
If I send you if you send him my way, we'll talk. Okay. All right. Bye.
Yes, James Freeman. He took the orange and said, "This is my neighborhood. I can take what I want."
$150 for one orange to drop the charges. That's the cost of deals for me. You look at it, catch you, fuck them up. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, 50 bucks.
150, it's a deal.
What do you have to tell him, Erie?
Orange Gate.
Right now. 150, buddy.
Let me drop the.
We got 50 bucks.
Oh, you already did. I'm not gonna drop it again. 'Cause I'm sorry. I don't believe in doing this. I don't believe they should be doing this.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, good. I'm glad he would have fucked him up.
And then he hung up on me. And then it goes to the next one. And
But you're
keep in
getting
mind,
content
everybody,
off of this guy
I do
still.
scream at this guy at one point. I'm sorry for losing my cool ahead of time. But like,
Man, I'm losing
I feel like
respect for Ninja now.
$150 for one orange is blackmail. You know, like, dude, I'm trying to get.
I disagreed with that though.
And
I felt like
because
No.
that's where we ended up becoming. I agreed with you that it came down to the ethics and the morals and doing what's right, and that it wasn't worth the orange. The price isn't worth the orange no more. It's worth stealing. That you tried to steal from me, and I will make you pay. And I agree with that. I agree 100% with Erie.
Hey, it's the same guy. What's up, bro? Hey, so how do I know you're going to keep your end of the deal after I send you $150? $150? You think I give a fuck about what the police say, bro? Well, I mean, he does because he's in jail. I don't because I'm not in jail. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to negotiate with you how to fix the problem. But I don't want to send something.
I don't think Erie is downplaying it because he checked Ninja.
And then I'll drop the charges. Well, what I'm saying though is what if I give you $150 and then how do I know you're going to keep your end of the deal? And I'm a man at the end of the day, bro. Well, I mean, so how can we work this out? Can I send you 75? You withdraw the charges, and then I send you the other 75? Well, you can send me 150. I withdraw the charges.
$10,000 orange.
Cool. And now we're done. Well, what I'm saying though is I don't know you personally, and I don't want to give you 150. I don't know the guy who stole my orange. I'm gonna give a fuck about him. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but what I'm saying though is like let's cut him out of the deal. What I'm saying is this is between me and you. If I give you 100, it's a word of trust. Yeah, but if I give you 100, so you're telling me if I give you $150 and you don't keep your word that I can come destroy your business?
Yeah, right receipt.
No, I don't have to try nothing. I'm just asking you, how do I trust you, bro? Can I not send you half down? Yeah, so. But if you do come and try to destroy my business, you won't be walking against the whole world.
I just asked a question. He fell apart.
No, it's not a threat. It just seems a little bit like blackmail and threats right now. I'm trying to fix a problem, and it just seems like you just keep raising the price. I'm trying to.
You're trying to cover for somebody who was wrong on so many levels.
Yeah,
exactly. Where do we see? Oh, that's the answer.
Trust you. How can I send you half of it down? Can I not pay half down? Well, I mean, why the fuck would I send 75 if I wasn't going to send the other 75? I just want to make sure you're going to keep your.
Yeah, man owns up. I mean, and that's the only way I'll ever watch anything from him again. He's if
and then I want to make sure
he comes out.
You keep your end of the deal.
Humble.
If you keep your end of the deal, then it's a trust deal, just like you're talking. about, right? You don't want to trust me, but I don't want to trust you. How do we find a middle ground?
Well, my middle. No, it's $150, bro.
Yeah, so can I send you 75 and then
And let me pause this real quick because what Accountability Angel just said is 100% correct. $150 sure beats what could come from it because we already looked up the charges. It's $1,000 and up to a year in jail. So Accountability Angel is 100% correct there.
We all know Bragg won't prosecute that though.
135 and what?
Huh?
We all know Alvin Bragg ain't gonna prosecute that though.
Yeah.
20 later.
True.
Dude, this is gonna have
Too busy
you're gonna
going
have
after
to meet me
Trump.
you're gonna have to meet me in the middle, bro. This is gonna have to be a 50% trust, 50% trust.
Like I said, I'd be willing to continue watching him if he just comes out completely apologetic and humble. But if he starts
and expecting me to have zero
bullshitting
trust from
and
you see
doing
what I'm
the
saying? Like, I can send you $100.
ego New York bullshit, I'm done. I'm
You
done.
can just still keep the charges, and then my
People
$100
make
was
mistakes. I mean, that was stupid. It was a stupid mistake. But people, I've made them.
no, man. Come on now. You gotta have
The
better
state gets the
negotiation
1,000.
skills. That $100 isn't halfway when. I can tell you that 100 is not half of 150. That's not halfway. Well, you just said halfway. You said you're meeting me halfway, and that's not halfway. Huh?
Man, I'm losing respect for Ninja on this.
Well, he's not going
I mean, I didn't have much to begin with. I mean, he's entertaining.
You know that it has to be over $1,000
But-
to be a felony theft in New York. You know that, right? So him stealing an orange, how much is your orange worth? Because
Keeper,
that's what it's
much
going to
love.
come down to is the damages, and I bet you paid 5 or 10 cents for that orange. And so, what is your damages?
The whole thing he stole from the wrong store, man.
No, but what I'm saying though is I'm trying to fix it, and you're threatening random people over the phone now. How good does that look for your store?
I'm not threatening you.
You just threatened me, dude, and you're trying to blackmail me for $150 over a fucking orange.
And so this is where the conversation goes a little south because I was pissed that this dude won't just take half the money. Let me send him 75 and then send him the other 75. I wasn't even going to send him the money. Erie County was sending the money. Erie was willing to cover the price of the $150 orange. And I'm just the phone call maker trying to be like, hey, what's the deal? Like, can we fix this problem? There was an issue. This guy made a mistake. You know,
No.
I've never seen Brooklyn go around live on
You
the
don't-
internet just stealing stuff for fun. You know, and he
Until
obviously
last
tonight
night.
made a mistake taking an orange from a place on a sidewalk while he was driving by. He made a mistake, bro. Erie
But then he lied
and
about it.
myself were trying to fix it. I mean, we
Why
were
would
on the
you turn
phone
into a
together
civil
for
rights
45 minutes before we even figured out where the hell he was. You know? So
Now, I just want to make it clear that I don't condone stealing, and I'm not trying to bail him out for stealing. But to get rid of the charges, to make it right, and to make an example of it, I mean, like I said, what we do is ask for accountability in the government. We can't be doing that and then driving around stealing stuff. So I don't condone stealing, but I don't think that the retaliation that the police were about to do is worth it. So that's why we try to do it.
yeah, we were like, obviously there's going to be some heavy discussions behind the scenes because Erie and myself, we don't agree with this, with taking things that don't belong to you. We don't agree with that, but we're willing to get people out of the dungeon or out of the cage and try to fix it positive instead of just like, you know, let's charge him $1,000 and 12 months in jail so he can't afford his family.
He's not going to get $1,000 fine, or he may get the fine, but he's not going to get 12 months in jail.
I've never met Brooklyn in person.
Not
I talk
in New
to him
York.
daily. He's been a great friend to me over the phone.
Anarchy? No.
But I have been with Erie County in person. I've had
the dude was writing tickets on the police cars just before this.
And Erie County's had my
Well,
back
that's
in
entertaining.
person,
His
and I've had
tickets
his
and stuff
back
like
in
that.
person.
That's entertaining.
And
Man,
I'll
you
pay
throw all that out by
500,000
stupid orange, man.
to get Erie County out because
Stop
I've
and pay the
already
guy
been
for the
side by
orange.
side with him.
You want
But
that
when
orange
it
that
comes
bad?
down
Pay
to
the man
certain
for it.
things, we have to be smart on what the money goes towards because, like they were just saying in the chats, we could have given this dude $150, even though he wouldn't accept it in the end. I'm gonna go ahead and end the bullshit recordings. He would not accept the money in the end. He was like, "I'm shutting down my shop. I'm leaving. Good luck, guys." Pretty much, I think is like the last thing he said to us.
Good.
But
I don't know, man.
He's got some principle.
Damn. I want a fucking apple. I want an orange, actually. Fucking orange. It's good. Okay, it's my fucking neighborhood. I'll take whatever I want.
So
Now we can't have that kind of behavior in the auditing community, especially not on a live, especially not when we're asking for accountability. As much as we want to help the guy out, one of the things we got to make clear is that we got to keep it clean, guys.
that's why me and Erie are live right now. Even as someone that backs Brooklyn from the day he started all the way until now, I can't get looked at like that guy. Guys, you have to understand that when Erie goes out or when I go out or when anybody goes out with our camera, now that's what they're going to believe that we are.
I would have solved it.
So what do you
That
believe we should do? What is the
shop
best
holder
way to handle this situation?
would be paying
And we're
the
not here to
security
put
company to
Brooklyn on
take care of
blast,
this
but
instead of these fucking
accountability for everybody. It
tyrant
means
cops.
accountability for the police. It means accountability for Brooklyn.
Patty, I don't think Brooklyn is done. He's got a great heart. And
Yeah. You know, it would have been that shop owner's either handling it himself because the guy stole his property, or whatever security company that he wants to hire to deal with it. That's how anarchy would have fixed it.
he's got great potential. He made a big mistake, just like all of us have in our life. But how do we fix this problem here? How
Arbitrators,
can we be more accountable? How can we be more transparent?
No, I mean,
except for just
they would
going
have to
by and
arbitrate
asking your
that, like she's saying. I mean, there's got to be there's got to be punitive damage for the theft, and that's where you have an arbitrator. You know, I mean, $150 is cheap for what he's probably going to have to go through with court and everything. And guess what? By involving the courts and everything like that, it means more tax money, more waste of time. You know, those cops are getting paid to do something that normally they would just they wouldn't even respond to that call. But because it was him, they responded to it. You know, I'm not justifying him in any way. I'm just saying, I'm also looking at the tyrant cop side of it, and they don't need to be involved in this.
That happened tonight.
Yeah. I mean,
Testing the waters.
and you'll be able to market arbitrators.
Done
Okay,
deal.
this arbitrator has a good rating for,
Give
being impartial.
150 is a bribe.
No, I don't agree with it being a bribe. I mean, it's principle. I mean, if somebody steals from you, this guy said he said, if a homeless man asked him for an orange because he was starving, he would have gave it. But this guy, not only did he steal, he stole in front of 400 people on a live.
Yeah. So, if it needs to be done, it can be done. And we don't have to have an authority to do it.
And made a joke about it. So, I mean.
Yeah, I spoke with the owner.
The principle alone.
I said
150 is nothing.
I told him, I said, do you give homeless people fruits during the day? And he said, hell yeah. If they walk up to me and they're hungry and they just ask politely for a fruit, I give it to them for free.
That's completely different than what he did.
But if you come and take my shit, you're lucky to walk away.
Yeah, he'd have probably gotten his ass beat if he didn't have that scooter.
Right? if you ask me for something, fuck
If
yeah,
he didn't
I'll
have
help
the
you
scooter,
out.
he probably
But
wouldn't
if you
even
just try
tried
to take
it.
my
But-
shit, it's a bad look, guys. He stole the orange. He took the orange. He admitted to it essentially when he drove away and said, "This is my neighborhood. I can take whatever I want." I love the dude. He's got a great heart, like I've said a million times, but he made a big mistake tonight. And we're about transparency. We're about accountability. And I can't let anti-accountability go down on my watch. And I wanted to talk to you, the community, because I know that you're the only people that are up at, I mean, it's 10:54 here in my house, but on the East Coast and West Coast, we're all different, and around the world, I'm sure there's probably even people in other countries watching.
Does
So
it's midnight
Patrick
here in
narrate that?
New York.
Anna? I mean, I bought the Audible books just to help out, but and it's nice to be able to listen to that driving down the road. But who narrates the one on YouTube?
what would you do, guys? If I guess what we're asking is, if you were a store owner and someone stole your orange, and you consider yourself a good person, and this is kind of where it made me irritated, was because it does come down to principle and morals and respect. 100%.
Okay.
But if you're someone with principles, morals, and respect, would you charge someone $150 for an orange after they tried to pay for it after they stole it? You know, like if say for instance you're a business owner and someone stole your orange, and you're like, "Hey, motherfucker," and you caught them, right? And they're in jail. Would you not give them the chance just to even the odds? Like, pay for what you just tried to take from me, and we can call it even?
In
or
this
would
case,
you be like,
hell
no,
no.
you need to pay
He
me
lied about it when
10,000
he was being
times
arrested.
what you took from me?
Picking it up
That's
off the ground. He didn't pick shit up off
I'm
the ground.
trying to get y'all's opinion.
No, he doesn't get it.
Did he overstep being like $150 for an orange when we're willing to give him
Nope.
$75
Nope.
for one orange?
Nope.
Or should we have just given him the $150 and hope
You
that
should
he
have just
was
gave it
right?
to him. Yep. I mean, you'll have a receipt that you gave it to him. You could even write it in the
Pay
transaction.
back with interest.
What
You
it's
openly
for.
apologize in the same fashion you took it.
And then if you want to do a civil suit against him
And
to
he's
get your
willing to
money
go
back,
back.
then
I told him I'm going to send him back. Hell no, unless that's the only way to keep the charges dropped.
yeah.
It's extortion. If you steal my $1 orange, it will cost you $100. We were cool with that. Auditing Erie County was actually willing to send him $150 for one orange, and there was no way he wouldn't let us send it. So we gave him a $150 Zelle option. He said that he didn't want to give his private information, his phone number, and he also didn't have Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. So,
How does a business owner
like
not
Erie
have
said
all those?
previously, we're not trying to
I don't blame him because you guys would have
be okay with
put
someone
his info on
stealing. We're
blast.
just trying to fix a
I would not be
problem
surprised if
of
they did
someone in
that.
our community
They would say, "Oh, this is this
that needs
guy's."
to not do that because it makes us look like
If you're willing
a
to do
certain
this,
way. Like people that was roll by.
you already look a certain way, Ninja, by even doing this. You are turning this into your content.
And steal your orange.
Well, I'm doing the same thing, but I don't
steal oranges.
gain anything from this. I'm not monetized. I give a fuck. And I've given
Much
my
love,
clear
Tommy
opinion.
Wood.
I disagree
Tommy
completely
Wood.
with News Down Ninja's take on this. I'm sorry.
I seen Tommy Wood on another
I've seen him
channel
do
the
some
other
good
day without a
things.
wrench. I
but
almost didn't
disagree with him
recognize
on
him.
this. I like auditing Erie County too. But
Yeah, when you see Tommy Wood without a wrench, it's hard to recognize, bro. That fucker's wrenched everywhere. Oh, guys. So, Brooklyn's been taken in for taking an orange. While he was arrested, he said that he took it off the ground and that he knows the guy that owns the shop. It seems that's not possible, considering the way the guy talked to me when I called him. Erie and myself tried our best to try to find out a way to get him out, to pay whatever amount. $150 is what we were willing to drop to get this fucker out tonight, if they'll just drop the charges. And not condoning theft, but just to try to fix a problem in our community. And he wouldn't accept it. So it is a ticket. He stole something that was worth less than $1.
I don't think the value of what he stole was really a matter of anything. I think it
doesn't
all
matter.
comes down to you can't be stealing.
You can't take what's not yours.
You can't be out there asking for accountability and then stealing.
Nope.
Precisely.
No, he's not out yet, Firm. If he was out, I'm sure he would have already called me. And if he is out, they don't have no cell phone. They probably kept it for evidence.
I hope they kept the scooter too.
I understand, girl with the camera is the principal. I understand. I'm not trying to defend theft. I
Wow.
would never defend theft. I am 100% against
You're in
theft.
behave mode?
I actually just told Erie County right
Yeah,
before
leave his ass in jail.
right before we went live, when I was on the call with him, I was like, yo, I got caught stealing gel pens when I was a teenager. Remember the gel pens with the glitter in them and shit? Right? My family
How am I
couldn't
not
afford that shit.
surprised?
My family was broke, so I stole them.
How am I not surprised that
Then
he
my
didn't
mom
do
made
that?
me sit in front of the store,
Yeah, please.
holding a sign saying
I don't mind
stole from the
misbehaving in my
store
chat.
for over a week in front of my neighborhood. I learned that theft and stealing it's not worth it. You get embarrassed if you get caught. So I stopped doing that a long time ago. AJOT, the solving of the problem would to get one more person out of the system, considering the system that is flooded, and it's costing your tax dollars every day to charge them. You know, if you get one person out of the system and fix them with a true, honest conversation, like, yo, you fucked up, bro. It's way better than just spending $10,000 over the next year to give them free food. You see? Yeah, it shouldn't have happened. You're correct. These chats are moving fast, so I'm trying, guys. Let that get in motion. Smart move by your parents. Smart move by your parents. I wish you were like them. Huh. I don't know what that means, but okay. I do my best. Have I ever eaten a grape at the store? Hell yeah. I go to the store and eat grapes.
Washes her chicken? Oh my God.
If I have them in my basket. you know, like if I'm about to buy that bunch of grapes, but I guess at the same time they weigh the grapes, so it might
Stealing is
if I
bad no
eat a
matter
grape
what,
off the bunch.
even if you're homeless. But like he said, if a homeless guy come up there and just said, dude, I'm hungry, and if he honestly does do that, then good for him. But even if that homeless guy steals it, it's still wrong. I don't care. You know? It's still wrong, but I understand why he did it. To do it just to do it because it's your neighborhood? Mm-mm.
But it's wrong if you don't buy them. Understand?
I appreciate it. I just did it for the hell of it. I've got a full video of the first song that
not only go
on our
there
anniversary, the May
and
1st, that is going to premiere too. It's already got a copyright on it. Somehow Fleetwood Mac thinks that they can copyright me on
You
a
should
tribute band
order for the guy
because of the melody is the same.
to work for him for free for a few days. Hey, I bet you Brooklyn would go out there and fucking do some work for that dude because he's gonna feel bad. I know he's gonna feel bad after doing this shit.
He should. I mean, if he's still locked up, I think it's stupid. I mean, what a waste to have him locked up for that long. Get him out there, and he needs. I mean, they shouldn't even be offering. See, this is contact. They should not even be offering to pay that stuff. He should be going to that guy offering him whatever he wants.
Gleaning.
Yeah, he definitely owes an apology, not only to the store owner, but to the community for doing this.
Big time. If he can come out say I'm sorry, I should have never done that, go apologize to the store owner, help out that store owner.
Yeah, it's weird. You can do
for a day.
1 minute short at a live show,
we can forgive them,
and they can't copyright you for it. But literally, I mean, it's only blocked in Russia, but like a
what else can we
15-second soundbite of Sir McLaughlin.
You're right.
When I was reviewing somebody's intro that had that song in the background, I got gigged for.
Right.
So I don't even think it was 15 seconds. It's less than that.
Caught me with a match. Boxcar.
I mean, just like cops have egos, and they let things go to their head. Someone like me, Brooklyn Audits or Ninja, you get that people behind you, and you get that little bit of fame to say, you can't let that shit go to your head and try to impress people by stealing an orange.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to think.
The auditors are really getting them.
Think about the future. You got to think about the community when you're in these positions. You can't be doing stuff like that. I think that Brooklyn definitely owes that to the community if he's gonna be part of it.
Thank you, Gloria, for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said previously, guys, Brooklyn, I feel this guy has a good heart, man, and he's got some spirit.
Same thing. They wanted me to sign NDAs and stuff like that for the other place I'm working at, and I refused. I'm like, if you guys want me, if you trust me, then I'll work for you, but I'm not signing anything.
But this mistake needs to be
Look at his weird hair. It's true. I mean, we got to a point. They tried to bribe the guy.
This mistake needs to be.
He refused to take the bribe, which I think is pretty fucking cool. What is this? 2 months ago? What is this, Anna?
And they need to bear the moral responsibility for what happens when the ideas are implemented.
Wait, can I ask a question? Yeah. Because I think I know more about Rand than Yaron does, so let's see.
Oh,
okay.
The gauntlet's been thrown down.
Who did Ayn Rand say is the most evil man who ever lived?
Immanuel Kant.
That's right. Correct.
No,
Okay.
that I know. I mean,
Okay.
so it's a big deal that Immanuel Kant is, and most people don't understand why, because if you read Kant, there's certain passages in Kant that sound pretty liberal. They sound
Sexual
pretty,
encounters.
He's for the individual. It sounds like he's
I need
for
to
the
get this
individual.
off.
He sounds like
Save
he's for the
that.
American Revolution, things like that. But when you actually read his philosophy and what he's trying to defend and what he's trying to undermine, he's trying to undermine the foundations that make the revolution possible, that make freedom and individualism possible. He's trying to destroy the Enlightenment, and the Enlightenment are those ideas that make freedom, individualism feasible. He's trying to undermine reason, and without reason, we're nothing. We're not. We can't survive as a species. So, and that's why she thought he was the most evil person, because his ideas undermine the very foundations of what it requires to be a human being. Reason and individualism. Those are the things he's trying to eviscerate. I know you've talked about Hoffman before. So Hoffman is a modern day attempt to Donald Hoffman.
Donald Hoffman.
Donald Hoffman is the University of California Irvine neurologist, neuroscientist, something like that. So I met him once, and we were at one of these conferences where you do a quick intro. You do a quick intro. His introduction was, I've just written a book that proves that evolution has conditioned us not to see reality.
Okay, that is very convenient.
Yeah, and he is basically just presenting pseudoscience to defend Kant's position about epistemology and about metaphysics. And there's nothing original there. And he puts up a bunch of equations. And he says, I ran a simulation and it proves I'm right.
So
it is.
John is a little bit frustrated with Donald Hoffman's work. Let me.
I'm not frustrated. I just think it's completely wrong, and it's anti-life, anti-mind, anti-evolution.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's an anti-evolutionist at the end, and I think it. Anytime you say, look, here's the important.
Wow, I appreciate that. So are you just saying that you quit?
Or that you can perceive it.
Well, who are you? What do you mean by what are any of your words?
Oh, yeah.
What does
So-
anything
so
you say
I'll
even
take this
mean
as
if
your-
it doesn't
your,
refer to something that's
law of
actually out there
transformation.
in reality?
Let me try to defend this point of view, because in a certain kind of sense, I hear it as being humble in the face of the uncertainty that's around us. Sort of, when you speak with the confidence of Ayn Rand and yourself, that reason can be
It's about the
like
same
this
here,
weapon
Earl.
that cuts
It's down in
through
the
all the
30s at night
bullshit of the
still.
world and makes us like have
Snow
an
in the
ethical,
morning.
moral life and all those kinds of things.
Earl.
You kind of assume that reason is a superpower that has no limits.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on a second. Okay, but
I got this one.
see, this is already leading to a murder by words.
Yeah,
and we've been
maybe
only
the
talking
three of us
for
wouldn't
20
get
minutes.
together. wouldn't get along together on an island.
We're just making him our slave. We're all gonna get along. He's just gonna do the work.
But I'm afraid I cannot provide any value as a slave, so this is not going to end well for me.
We provide value as dinner.
That's the problem I'm trying to get
That's
to.
a solution.
Okay, but Donald Hoffman says that there is he makes an argument that exactly as you said, that the what we perceive is very, very far from actual physical reality. In fact, we're not able to perceive the physical reality at all. And he also makes the bigger claim that evolution prefers beings who are not attached to reality. So like evolution created creatures that are basically functioning way outside of what the
Okay, now
physical reality is.
I got this. I got this. Okay, because there's a lot to unpack here, and I hate all of it. Okay. First of all, no, I'm serious. First of all, when you were making that comment about how reason is a superpower beyond limit, you're being ironic, but it's true. And I'll give you one example, which is astronomy. If you look at the physical size of the universe, it's literally in one sense incomprehensible. So he's right in the sense that I do not understand, and none of us understand what it means for 93 million miles away for the sun to be. It's a number on the screen, right? That said, the fact that my mind, and I'm not one of the great thinkers of all time, is capable, we're getting there, is capable of appreciating what the sun means, what heliocentrism means. The fact that we can, you're a math person, that you could look at galaxies and reduce it to 10 to the 64th power in terms of distance. That shows the unlimited capacity of the human mind and reason, number one. Number two is, if he says that evolution favors those who are not in touch with reality, and I don't know in what context he's saying that, because that sentence could mean a lot of different things. Evolution is what guides. Reality is what guides evolution. Evolution works because you are fitted to the reality of the situation around you. It's not that someone is sitting down and says, well, I'm going to add a fin to this animal, and that fin helps it swim. I engineer a check mark. It's that mutations occur, The vast majority of these mutations are against reality. They do not further this animal's life or this plant's life or this fungus's life. But the ones that are in touch with reality, such as, okay, it's really cold here. There's no predators here. If I could figure out, and I'm using that term very loosely, a way where I could survive in the cold, I don't have predation. It's really great. So the fact that unconsciously and mindlessly, this process can force the mutation and evolution of the form precisely means that they're in touch with reality. Now, if he means the consciousness is not in touch with reality, that's another thing that I really hate.
You're referring to the reality as like the biological reality of evolution, but all of that is based on many other layers of abstraction that ultimately has quantum mechanics underneath it all. And he's saying somewhere along the layers, you start to lose more and more and more attachment to the actual.
Hold on, can I one more sentence?
Sure.
I despise the idea. I say despise. I'm not using this. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
And the idea that the reality we don't live in is somehow more real than this. That is a very dangerous idea to say, well, quantum works in this way, and I'm sure he's correct, and none of us disagree with that. What we perceive, macro, works in a different way. Well, that's the real reality, and this is fake. Bullshit.
Yeah.
This is the real reality. That is a different type of a subset, but no one's living there.
Well, and it's a
and humanity is the starting point.
It's a subset that has to integrate with this world. There isn't two worlds, one in the quantum world and one here. They're integrated. Now, we might not have the scientific knowledge to know how they're integrated, but so what? We know that there's only one reality, and that's this one. He has this difference. He says evolution matches up to fitness, not to reality, and he creates this dichotomy between fitness and reality. But that's complete nonsense. There is no such thing as a concept of fitness outside of fitness to what? To reality. The fitness and reality are the same thing. They're not separate things. So the whole way he sets this up intellectually is wrong, I think, to some extent, dishonest, and certainly philosophically corrupt. And it's Kantian. Again, he's accepted Kant's ideas, and everybody pretty much has accepted Kant's ideas for the last 200 years. And they give it a different facade, and he's giving it an evolutionary facade. But it's just a facade for the same idea, and that is that somehow, because we have eyes, we cannot see. Because
I don't know, man. Michael Malice is not a dumbass.
Medium, and that medium necessarily distorted. The medium changes the resolution at which you see, right? Like if I take off my glasses, I'm seeing it a little differently. But the thing is still there, and the thing is still there in the way I see it.
Do you suspect me of committing a crime?
I didn't suspect you of anything.
Am I being detained or am I free to go? Am I being detained?
You have an ID on.
Am I being detained?
I asked you politely for your ID.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. The other day I shared an incident in which campus police officers at McLennan County Community College had a professor arrested after asking an officer to move their cruiser during a traffic stop.
You're going to have to go around.
Use the links below to see that video. Today's video, however, was sent in by Dinstar and involves the same college and police department. Dinstar alleges that while walking through the halls, Officer Brad Pratt became upset that Dinstar didn't say hello to the officer and yelled at him. After filing a complaint against the officer, Dinstar claims the officer began following him whenever he attended class. The public campus has wooded fields surrounding the parking areas, and one day before class, Dinstar went for a walk to clear his head prior to a test. Though Officer Pratt was off duty, it appears possible that he may have followed Dinstar and called him in as a suspicious person. Officer Pratt's call prompted the response of a uniformed officer, and shortly after his arrival, Dinstar began recording.
What's your name, sir? And badge number?
My name's Lipsy, badge number 11.
Thank you, sir.
Can I see your ID, please?
Do you suspect me of committing a crime?
I didn't suspect you of anything. I just,
Are you-
our property.
are you
I want
detaining
to
me?
See your ID.
Am I not allowed to walk here? Sir, I'm not trying to cause trouble. I'm just exercising my right.
Any unit, I need some backup over here, please.
I'm just exercising my right as an American, sir. Am I being detained? Yes or no, sir? Am I being detained or am I free to go?
$781, are you available?
Am I being detained or am I free to go? Sir, I'd like to go about my day. Okay, I'm gonna go about my day since I'm not being detained. Have a nice day, sir. Try to be polite, nice, and just exercise my rights. Have a good day, sir.
Yes, sir. Are you available?
Unlike most states that require a person to identify if lawfully detained, Texas is unique, and 3802 only requires a person identify themselves if they have been lawfully arrested. Dinstar has not been arrested, nor is there sufficient reasonable suspicion to detain him. That makes this a consensual encounter.
Sir, do you have an ID?
I'm just trying to take a walk. Am I being detained?
Do you have an ID on
Am
you?
I being detained?
You're not being detained, sir.
Thank
I'm
you.
asking you for your ID.
And I refuse. I don't have to, sir.
I'm in
Unless
the
I'm
field
being
over here,
unless I'm being accused of
on
a crime.
MCC property.
You think there's about ready to be a crime committed? Do you think there's about ready to be a crime committed? Then have a nice day, sir. I'm just trying to enjoy a nice walk. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. I asked you politely for your ID.
And I refuse, sir. I don't have to give it to you. Texas state law. Please look it up. If you don't want me being here and this is your property, I'm walking right off the property, sir. As far as I knew, this was public property. It's not posted anywhere, no trespassing. So have a nice day, sir. I wasn't aware of anything. I'm doing anything wrong.
Dinstar revokes his consent and leaves again, but Officer Walter, who also has trouble answering questions, arrives on scene.
Hello, ma'am. Am I being detained?
Are you being detained?
Yes, is there-
Go over here. I'm going to talk with this officer and find out what's going on.
Are you the supervisor, ma'am?
I am Officer Walter.
What's your badge number?
Our chief of police is on his way. If you will wait right here while I get the information.
Am I being detained or?
Of why you are here. Okay, hold on just a second.
Just taking a walk, ma'am.
MCC Police Department. Oh, ma'am, we've got a police officer that's over there trying to unlock a vehicle for a gentleman that works here. Thank you for calling. That's okay. Thank you for calling. Bye-bye.
Ma'am, I just don't trust police. I don't like to talk to them.
Well, I'm sorry. If you'll just hang on just a second, I've got to get some information.
If there's a reason I'm being detained, I need to know about it.
If you will give me just 1 minute, okay? If you will just hold on.
Ma'am, I've already given this gentleman a minute, and he said that I'm on the property, so I'm just trying to exit.
Here, I've been here like 30 seconds, okay? Hold on just a second.
Apparently now unconcerned with Dinstar, the officers turn their back to him while they talk and answer more phone calls.
Ma'am, am I suspected of committing a crime? Do you think there's a crime about ready to be committed?
No, sir, I don't.
Ma'am, that's just Texas law.
If you just hold on just a second.
Sir, am I free to go?
Looks like James Rainey's got something too after this. I'm probably not going to do anything. I'm probably going to kill the stream after this.
I'm sorry for keeping you.
Go grab something to eat.
The officer here was just asking if you were okay, and we're walking back through the woods and everything, so you're not being detained. You're free to go. Okay. I'm
Ma'am,
going
can
to
you?
Walter.
I don't trust police, and
Okay.
I've never had a good experience with them. That's why I'm like this.
I'm sorry.
I don't like my rights being stepped on, and you, sir, cannot detain somebody and ask for ID unless you suspect a crime of being committed. Suspect me of committing a crime.
People trespassing.
Like I said, there's nothing posted anywhere. I'm just trying to take a walk.
That's
Which,
fine. You're
as
free
an
to
American
go.
citizen, it's my right to do that.
You're free to go, sir. Okay. Thank
Have a
you.
great day, ma'am.
You too.
Dinstar
Free to
leaves
go
and
means you were
ends his
detained.
class. Officer Walter then writes in her report that when she tried to shake his hand, he told her that his brother was shot by cops and that he didn't like them. That certainly wasn't captured on Dinstar's video, and the MCC police refused to release their body cam footage for this incident though they were obviously activated. Officer Walters' notes indicate that one of the phone calls she took was Chief Williams, the same one from the other day that didn't understand the obstruction statute. This time, the chief told the officers to let him go. Based on the report written by Officer Pratt, it is alleged that he was able to review Dinstar's wartime disability accommodations that were filed with the school, as the officer included and embellished several of Dinstar's medical diagnoses in his narration, though he never made contact with him that day. And just a few weeks later, Officer Pratt writes that he saw Dinstar's truck again parked by the woods. The officer writes a spooky story about how he felt something wasn't right and that someone was watching him or setting him up for an ambush. Then, Dinstar comes downstairs and leaves, after which Officer Pratt investigated the woods and hilariously pats himself on the back, writing about his hunting experience when he finds poop and the fact that he can tell the difference between human and animal feces. Yes, this is on a police report. The officer then claims that this is the second time that he's noticed Dinstar around human feces. Dinstar followed this all up with a complaint and met with the deans about the incident, but in the end, as usual, nothing changes. Dinstar went on to graduate from MCC with the highest honors and from Texas Tech on their campus, summa cum laude. A link to my previous video regarding this department will be linked down below, along with a link to Dinstar's channel. If you head over there, be sure to let him know that I sent you. Thanks for watching. If you have a video, use the submit link in the description.
Summarily ending them seems to be the only solution. Take that as you will.
That makes sense. So essentially, you got the probable cause when you went to the door the first time and the father admitted to piercing the ear, right? Because before that, all it was hearsay, even if it is from a teacher.
That's correct.
And so it was essentially the father speaking to the police when they came to the door the first time that gave you probable cause to make an arrest. Is that right?
That's correct.
Many of you may have already seen this video that went viral this weekend on TikTok, Twitter, Tinder, I don't know, a whole bunch of social media sites. The video is alleged to show a man being arrested by Tontitown, Arkansas police for allegedly piercing his son's ear
I just read your
without a
email.
license. Now, there is more to the story than just this.
Yeah, he
and there
posted
are a
that
few
when
news
he,
outlets that covered some of those other parts of the
20th.
story. But Keith Lindley with the department was kind enough to spend about 25 minutes on the phone with me, explaining the details of the situation and answering any questions that I had. When I finished speaking with him, I came to the conclusion that this man
You're
was
here.
arrested because of a mistake that he made. And the reason I want to bring attention to this is to try to prevent you from making the same mistake.
Yeah.
Times Record reported
Don't
that the
talk to
arrest
the
followed a
cops. Don't let
complaint
them
made
in.
on Thursday by a
Don't let them
Springdale
inside your
Public
house.
Schools police resource officer. The resource officer reported to Tontitown police that a juvenile male had shown up to school with his left ear pierced. The officer said he overheard the boy say that his dad was drunk when he forcibly pierced his ear. The Tontitown police statement said, quote, "While sitting in class, talking with other students and a teacher present, the juvenile male stated his dad was drunk and put him in a chokehold and shoved the piercing in his ear." Now, whether the boy actually told this story to his friends or not, we don't know. And whether or not it's true, if he did tell the story, we don't know. But it was this alleged story that caused the Tontitown police to go to Jeremy Sherlin's home on Thursday and ask him about the incident. When they went to his home, Jeremy admitted to piercing his son's ear, but wouldn't give the police any further information or allow them to speak to his son. This is where Jeremy screwed up. And I don't point out his screw up to try to shame an innocent man, but to show where he made a mistake so that hopefully someone who's watching this in the future will be able
Don't
to
admit
stay
anything
out
to
of
the
trouble
cops.
by not making the same mistake. After speaking with a few different lawyers about this, they confirmed to me that the police department likely had reasonable suspicion to detain and question the father based on the son's story, but that it wasn't enough for probable cause to make an arrest. The police didn't obtain probable cause until the father admitted to piercing his son's ear, as innocent as he thought that might be. The father likely didn't know that he was admitting to committing a Class D felony. According to Arkansas Code 20-27-1502, Part B, a person shall not perform body art on a person under 16
Why
years
would-
of age, regardless of parental
I'm
consent,
so pissed at my
except
kid for making
when
up a
authorized
story
by
like
a
that.
physician for blah, 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 and when piercing the earlobe. Also, when you scroll down to Part I, it says that it's a Class D felony to perform body art in an unlicensed facility. And this is definitely some nanny state crap right here. But the officer that I spoke to told me they were far less concerned with the father allegedly breaking this particular piece of legislation.
But that's
far
what you
more
charge him.
concerned with the son's alleged initial story that he told in school, saying that his father held him down and pierced his ear. And that they simply used this statute to be able to get to the father and the son, to be able to interview them and find out if there's any actual abuse going on in the home.
Town Police Department.
Hey, I was just wondering how to pronounce the name of your town. Taunty Town?
Oh, sorry. I had to. Yeah, Tawny Town.
Taunty Town, right?
That's correct.
All right, great. Hey, the dad that was arrested, is the felony charge just for the ear piercing, or is that a misdemeanor and there's a felony charge on top of that?
I'm sorry, I guess I'm not understanding. Are you asking if that's the totality of his charges?
Yeah, well, I saw a story that said that he pierced his son's ear without a license, but then I also saw something about possible child endangerment. So what I'm wondering is if piercing his son's ear without a license was a felony, or if there was another charge that was the felony and the piercing itself without a license was a misdemeanor.
No, that was actually the felony charge. There were additional misdemeanor charges as well.
Okay, so doing a piercing without a license is a felony?
Right. Piercing or body art without a license in the state of Arkansas is a felony. I think where people are getting a little confused is that officers within the department are outwardly seeking people that pierce their kids' ears or give them tattoos. That's actually not what this was about at all. The original complaint came from the Springdale Police Department's SRO, who in turn opened up an investigation through the state because of potential child abuse, which is the only reason that we went out there in the first place.
Okay, and I think that some of the outlets had covered that and said that he had told friends at school that his dad was drunk and forcibly pierced his ear, right?
Right, and I believe, right, that's a statement that a teacher in Springdale had overheard, and then that Springdale teacher is a mandated reporter, so they had to call the Department of Human Services, and then they notified the Springdale school resource officer. And since the alleged offense occurred within our jurisdiction, then we went to investigate it, which we attempted to do. However, the father wouldn't allow us to talk to his child and refused to give any sort of statement. So the only reason that an arrest was made was because of the allegations of abuse in the home, and without any opportunity to actually get a statement from either the alleged offender or the alleged victim. Then after some discussion with the prosecuting attorney's office, it was decided to make an arrest. We were outside of the window of being able to make a domestic assault or domestic battery arrest without a warrant. And given that it was occurring over the weekend, the warrant process actually takes a pretty long time. And so it was decided to make a warrantless arrest on a felony charge for the sole purpose of being able to make sure that that child was in a safe place for the evening and had an opportunity to talk to a child advocacy center.
Okay, and has that happened then at this point?
It has. It has. The child was interviewed by an advocate, a child advocate, to try to determine the potential for abuse within the home. So at the end of the day, I think that a lot of people have it, in their mind that this department is out trying to find people that want to give their kids ear piercings, and that could not be further from the truth. It was strictly a measure and a means to safeguard the welfare of a child, despite what anybody on the outside would think about it. That's ultimately our goal, is to make sure that that child's protected, which probably could have been more easily accomplished if we were just given the opportunity to have an interview with him. However, his father would not allow us to even speak to him to get an opportunity to clear it up. So given the options of letting the child potentially remain in an abusive environment or walking away, we decided to err on the side of caution to safeguard the child, not knowing all of the facts and circumstances about what the environment's like in the home. We're not going to take any chances with that.
Okay, and so at this point, he's spoken with an advocate, and has he been taken from the home then, or I mean, his father had bonded out, so they're both back in the home again together at this point, right?
Right. My understanding is that the child has not been removed from the home. We don't have the authority to remove any child from any home. That's not within our purview. When it comes to something like that comes to DHS. They conduct an interview and then their own outside investigation, and then they make a determination about the disposition of the child at that point. We don't have any authority to remove any child from any home.
Okay, but it seems as if he's already spoken to an advocate, and maybe this was not quite as big of a deal as it may have initially seemed to be.
I mean, I can't speak to what the conversation was like with the Child Advocacy Center or DHS. I wasn't present during that, nor have I seen their report or their findings on it, so I can't really speak to that. I can tell you that it's my understanding that the child was not removed from the home, which there's a pretty significant threshold in the state of Arkansas for that to happen. But I couldn't tell you about any of the granular details as to how that went. I can just tell you that I know that the child wasn't removed from the home.
Okay. Anna.
All right. So obviously the arrest was made more because of what he
There may
said
not have been
his
any
friends
child
allegedly
abuse, but God damn it, there
overheard,
should have been
and it's
after
kind of a
that
telephone
bullshit if
game
the
then,
kid's
right?
lying.
Because he said something to his friends. His teacher allegedly overheard it and allegedly gave that to a PIO who allegedly passed that
Therapy.
on to the police department, right?
Right. I mean, to my knowledge, that the statements were made. We're bound to investigate it. We attempted to investigate that through an interview process and both speaking to the potential offender and potential victim. However, we weren't given that opportunity to even interview them. The father denied access to the child to interview him and refused to answer questions. So when we looked at the totality of all of the circumstances and gauged if there's any potential threat to a child within the home, then through the guidance of the Washington County Prosecutor's Office and our department, then the decision was made to make an arrest in an attempt to make sure that that child was in a safe environment, could go through the process of speaking with DHS investigators, and then they could make a determination from there.
Okay, and this all happened on the weekend, right? What was the when the officers first went to the home? Was that a Friday evening or something? When they tried to speak with the father and the son?
I believe that. I'm not even sure. If you don't mind me asking, I appreciate. I mean, your demeanor and tone that you're taking is very polite and cordial and professional. But I would have to ask, what is your interest in this?
I cover police misconduct stories on the internet, on YouTube.
Sure. Okay.
And I do see that there's definitely two. I mean, I get a lot of stories where, both sides tell their side and one side sounds like they're full of crap. It does sound like there's some legitimate claims on both sides here. But just trying to understand the details of, what was done and what could have been done. I understand that sometimes it's a little tough on you guys when we critique everything you do, but I still think it's a necessary part of our society. And so the reason I ask, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, the reason
go ahead. I'm sorry.
The reason I ask whether they came on Friday or not is because from what I understand, you guys would be able to pull the child aside during school, because essentially when a kid is in public school, the school has custody over him, not the parents, right? And so I'm
right. However, which we can do. However, we're still not allowed to interview him without the permission of a parent. And most of the time, we try to avoid pulling a child out of class at school. because that just sort of starts the rumor mill within the school, and we tend to not try to create an opportunity where the kids in the school start, the rumor mill of, what did this person do or what have you. So just to try to maintain, the child's reputation, we tend to try to do those things at home. Don't get me wrong. Clearly, there are opportunities where we'll talk to kids at school, but we avoid it if we can, just to avoid any opportunities of kids, coming up with their own conclusions as to why we might be doing that, because it gets around. Kids know when the cops are at the school. It just takes one kid to see us there, and then hear that somebody gets pulled out of class, and then it just sort of snowballs from there.
Okay. Well, I guess my understanding. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I guess my understanding, though, was that the school actually has custody over the children. Now, I guess that may vary state by state. I've only really had experience with this in New Mexico and Texas. And in both states, I was told multiple times when dealing with situations like this that, yes, kids have been taken out and interviewed
he just dropped
without
this
their
video,
parents present, without
Gregory.
their parents even being notified. And I was told that
Thank you,
essentially
Anna,
that's able
for
to be done because parents have signed over
dropping that
custody
link.
of their children essentially while they're in public school.
Yeah, everybody
Therefore,
give
it's
him a
the
like
school
on this.
that's the legal
I'm
custodian
sure I
of
did
them.
too.
Right. No,
Yeah,
you make a good point. And generally, most of the time that will happen is if one of the parents is actually a suspect, and so we're getting into maybe some really difficult waters to navigate legally here. Even though it's legal and possible, a lot of times we still want to have parental consent, whether we can or not, just because it's the right thing to do. I can, as a parent, I would be really challenged and maybe potentially a little bit upset if I found out that the police officer came to interview one of my children at school without my knowledge. So out of respect for the parents, that's what we're going to do most of the time. Now, each incident creates its own recipe, right, for how we're going to approach it. But, on the surface, when we got the initial complaint, this clearly didn't look to be as if it was, there was anything so wildly different than in any other.
Yeah, James Freeman's a good guy.
Complaint that a child might have against,
I'm probably going to kill the stream though, so
an abusive situation.
we'll see where this has gone.
Pretty common.
Oh, it's got halfway there, man. That's a long discussion.
I'm sure other states as well.
If you guys want to see the rest of it, jump on the link there.
Investigations that we're very used to. The environment sort of dictates the course of action, I guess, and so it's not uncommon if we get a complaint to go to the home, try to do a home visit, talk to the child, talk to the parent, and decide where to go from there. The problem in this particular instance is that we were never given the opportunity to even speak with the child or the parent. So really what we're left with is the statements that were overheard by a teacher and then passed on to DHS and then passed on to the school resource officer. So it was very limited information. But at the end of the day, despite that limited
I hate that
information,
fucking
we're
thing.
still duty bound to
Well, it's
ensure
the end of my day
welfare
here.
of children in our jurisdiction. And it would have been a premium option to have had more information and to have had the opportunity to interview the child and to have had the opportunity to interview the parent. We just weren't afforded that opportunity.
He does a little bit, but no, he's more of a direct activist type thing, rights activist. What he's been doing, his lives have been more concerned about that. But once in a while, he'll go out and do it. Just not nearly as often.
Opportunity, and so we're left.
There's a lot of danger in doing that. Cops will kill you.
Trying to make a decision based on the information that we have, which arguably was very limited. However, from the perspective of a law enforcement officer, if you're going to be wrong, and we don't ever want to be wrong, but if you're going to be wrong, then we're going to be wrong on the side that ensures the safety of the child. That's just really, quite frankly, something that we're not going to take any chances with.
Okay.
All right. So, yep, she dropped it up there, but I'll drop it again for. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to kill it because I got to go eat some dinner and go do my 2 hours at the Electroprime plant. So, y'all have a good one. I'll go with my outro music.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. We're taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.